Oh my god, everyone's getting Symes! Double hero?
Okay, hello and welcome to the final stream of the Need for Link Navis Cycle 4. So this is going to be our final stream for this series, which is Link Navis. Just to quickly explain what Link Navis are, it's using a format that allows us to play as various navis from the games, and each one has different abilities, which we're going to explore and see throughout the game. And joining me on commentary is going to be Symes.
Yeah, hi guys. I commentated some of the new moons last year, but this is my first time back on commentary this year, so I'm looking forward to it. Seeing some of the great net battles.
Alright, well then let's start right into it, with the first match being Solid versus Neryth. Okay, so I mean, from yesterday we've seen both of these players play. We've seen the drawings as well as the folders, but we didn't get a chance to see these matchups. So Solid's the only Slashman player in this week, and I think Neryth might be the only Elikman player as well.
No, there's two other Electman players. I think Versel and the Red Ranger. I think.
Oh yeah, okay. So we didn't see Versel yesterday, but we're going to see we're going to see a few matches from Versel today. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, so just looking at the matchup, how do you think it's going to play out?
Well, we've got a Salad with the F code here, which is interesting. And a Slashman has a very unique charge shot. It hits once when it goes down the field, and it's pretty weak. But at point blank range, when the kunais spin, it hits 3 times. So Salad has those panel grabs to try and get the setup with that. So if she can get that set up, Slashman's DPS obviously becomes much better. So that will be important. Neryth obviously has the V code with the bubble stars and the Dole Thunder 3 and Elect Dragon with that boost from Electman. So
yeah, so we've seen yesterday how both of the folders play. As you mentioned, Solid wants to get in with the multiple hits on the charge shot, and Neryth wants to go for the bubble into Elect Chip combos to get in a lot of the damage. Few things to highlight for the matchup is that Solid does have Bodyguard in her folder, so that will be interesting, and Magnum has less of an effect on Neryth because Neryth has float shoes. So if he's standing on one of the Magnum panels that gets hit, it's going to be cracked and it won't get broken, so he can freely move. So Magnum could be weaker against him. And yeah, so as we saw yesterday, Neryth does have the Muramasa and Sanctuary, and I think importantly is for Solid to gain maximum damage with her charge shot, she's going to have to be forced to come into the optimal range for bubble from Neryth. So it will be interesting to see if Neryth takes an advantage of that and tries to gain counters or just bubble attacks combos through that. Okay, let's head right into the match then.
And Salad is already going for 2 panel grabs to try and set up those charge shots. So we'll see if she can get that this turn.
Yeah, and she's also taking the wind box with her, so she's going to try to put it as back row object as well. We'll see if she gets that. Ooh. Ooh, 1 second. Okay. The second panel grab fails, so she doesn't and this life orb could be big, but now Neryth doesn't have any way of removing it, of removing the wind box.
Yeah, that is one of Electman's major weaknesses. His charge shot doesn't target obstacles, so it can sometimes be a bit of a problem for him to remove them.
Yeah. Which is especially weird because the navi chip hits, I think, all objects on the field.
The navi chip doesn't hit I wish it did, but it doesn't hit some of your allied objects. Like, it won't hit your own, like, fanfare and stuff like that, but Neryth gets the dash elect sword.
Then, okay, let's see if Solid gets in the panel grab. Ooh, doesn't. And the poison field is also ticking on Solid's HP, while Neryth doesn't really affect him because of the flow choose that he has, so Solid would want to try to avoid taking damage from that because it slowly builds up and does play a big effect. Goes for the panel, for the arrow panel. Ooh, nice. So she dodges the Elect Dragon, but the wind box still is destroyed.
Yeah, and it seems like Neryth is having a hard time getting his charge shots off because he keeps being interrupted by the Slash Man charge.
Yeah.
So this actually seems like a very difficult matchup for Electman.
Yeah, so unlike most of the navis, they can't hit from anywhere, but Solid allows her to hit pretty easily, which can, as we see there, interrupt Neryth's charge, which also hits from the whole field, but it's slower to charge than Solid. Okay. Solid still has the invis, so that's infected. And yeah, so she goes right into the next turn with the same chips. So one thing that not a lot of people know about is you don't have to always take new chips. If you have chips in hand, as long as you don't take anything new with you, you can just press OK and keep the same hand. But keep in mind for standard BN, if you go into Beast Out, that counts as a chip, so you do lose what you have from that.
Yeah, but you can still go into crosses when you do it, so it could be very useful. Make sure you don't waste any chips.
Neryth dropping Sanctuary and the Timpani, but Timpani doesn't do anything. Well, does something, but Solid can very easily remove any objects from the field, and that's what we're going to see in a bit.
Yeah, that's another one of Slashman's advantages. He's actually one of the best navis at clearing objects because his charge shot, since it hits the panels above and below him, he can easily remove even back row objects.
Ooh, nice.
Even the anti-navi element man will remove the sanctuary and do ×2 damage to Electman.
So gets hit, but she does get the Roaring Slash off. Let's see if it does land or is Neryth able to avoid this?
Yeah, I think with the boost from Electman, that Bubble Star Dual Thunder 3 does like 460 damage, so that evens the HP right back up, and now it's even in Neryth's favor.
Yeah, definitely. Neryth has a lot of high damaging combos that can very easily swing the match, as we've seen. Ooh, missing Muramasa. Okay, anti-damage from Solid. Into the Blast Man. 500 damage on Neryth, and now the game's bursting. Ooh, into the elements, man. Let's see. She gets the grass again. So that's Neryth is down to 50 HP.
Oh, and the 2 erasement here, that should probably be enough to close it out.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw Neryth use the anti-navi, so I don't think he has anything that could take him out.
Yeah, and he lost the life aura on the first turn to the wind, so yeah, that's it for the first round.
Alright. Okay, game 2. Ooh, Solid's starting with the panel, all the panel grabs, I think. So this field has the conveyor panel, so that could make it more difficult for Solid to avoid the charge shots, or it could trap her without her noticing. So going to watch out if that does happen. Okay, so she uses the panel grab to confirm it. Now it goes for LA to try to limit Solid's movement, and then second panel grab. Neryth tries to block the back object, but we know Solid doesn't have it.
And Salad just collides with Neryth when he's using the dash elect sword and knocks him out of it.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned that yesterday, but that's one of the things that I didn't really know about the elect dash sword. I thought it gave you invulnerability, you can't be hit, but apparently no, you can very easily get hit. Ooh. And then Neryth lands a bubble into Dual Thunder combo. Okay, so Neryth uses Judgment to try to regain some of his area. See if he has any follow-up.
Yeah, and since Neryth already used his dash elect sword, it will be hard for Salad to get much use out of this anti-sword unless she gets hit by an anti-damage or Neryth tries to use Muramasa maybe.
Yeah, I mean, probably at this point might be Salad just trying to bluff it on Neryth to make him think it's anti-damage, so he would have to waste a chip or try to remove it before using anything. And I guess it could be anti-navi as well. He needs to check for that, because Solid does run that.
Yeah, that is the tricky thing when you run multiple traps like that, so the opponent has to figure out which one it is, and it can be used for mind games like that.
Nice. So Solid gets in the life aura just in time to protect her trap, so her still doesn't know. And she lands Judgment into charge shots.
Oh, but now she's trapped with that conveyor.
Okay. So yeah, that was one of the patterns that led to her getting trapped. But Neryth didn't have any way of removing life aura that turn, so he couldn't get much out of it. And I think if Neryth does a charge shot, then that will allow Solid to move out of the trap, of the lock, because it will crack the panel from the charge shot. Then when she steps on the conveyor panel, the panel she was underneath will break, which allow her to move freely.
Or if he uses an elect dragon to break the life aura. Oh, he's using Slashman to break the aura.
Okay.
And that will set off the anti-sword, but Neryth moves to the bottom row.
So it has the Magnum, which does remove Neryth's trap.
Yeah, Neryth does also have an anti-navi, so I'm not sure if that was which one got removed there. I guess we'll find out later.
Yeah. And that was nice dodge. Neryth almost dodged all of the machine gun hits, but then got clipped by one near the end. That was very nice. Okay, so Solid does have base. We'll see if she decides to go for it. And she does run double punch, so she might be waiting for that.
Yeah, double point effectively doubles its damage, so...
Starts with the race man, just confirm. Into charge of this.
Oh, the triple bubble star
right.
hit into the Doll Thunder.
Okay. So yeah, does sometimes happen because of how bubble star works with movement. I think this might be the first time I see it happen from moving back. It usually happens moving up and down. But yeah, that was interesting. So Salad was moving back just as the bubble hit her. So the game took the movement to be on the panel afterward and then hit her again, removing the bubble. She continued moving back in the same direction that bubble moved in, which hit her again into the Door Thunder, which finished that game. And before that point, yeah.
That was a crazy finish to that round with the triple bubble into the Doll Thunder. That was a big response for Neryth.
Yeah, I mean, the game was going pretty evenly between them. They were similar on HP and they both had both were in good position. Ooh. Okay, Solid gets hit by the Olive Dash Sword.
Neryth's invis gonna last till the end of the turn. Yes, so Salad cannot remove that trap with the machine gun.
Oh nice, so you used the invis to avoid the first charge shot and then used it again, and it lasted long enough to keep for the end of the turn, so that was pretty good. Then to the life aura. Solid doesn't have anything, so she's just going to try to avoid the charge shot as much as possible. Oh nice. Okay, so she didn't get hit by any, but luckily she has the right wind rack, so she can remove it straight away. So it's not really.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this will depend on who's hosting and who's blind. If this wind rack will push Neryth back or not.
Do you remember which way it was? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I have no idea. Oh well, Neryth moved back anyway, so it didn't end up mattering. Oh, and it looks like Neryth has an anti-navi, so that Judgment SP will not work.
Yeah, so probably Salad was probably waiting for Neryth to use a chip that he actually wants, and then she'll TFC the Judgment to force him to lose that, and gain a Judgment that doesn't really benefit him.
Well, what it does is it denies Salad from being able to get her area back.
Yeah.
Oh, and it timed out. She got it back on its own. But Neryth, meanwhile, landing his bubble elect combos.
Yeah, and now Salad is trapped in area, so that was a lot of damage from one turn, and leading to Salad being trapped, which will cause even more charge shot damage to land in.
Yeah, she at least has life aura though, but it looks like she's opting not to use it this turn. She's using the F code cursor chips.
Yeah, I guess she might be trying to go through her folder to try to get to her win con. Alright, okay, so the panel grab does go from last turn. Magnum, let's see if that connects. I think Solid actually wanted that, because now she can confirm 3 hits, not confirm, she can get 3 hits from the charge shot, or otherwise would have been able to avoid it.
Yeah, Neryth's charge shot actually flinched Salad out of using the rest of that machine gun.
Ooh,
Which also let Neryth put up anti-damage, which protected him.
But now, so this is one of the things that is quite good about the charge shots from Slashman, that if the opponent uses anti-damage, it forces that to trigger, because of how fast it charges and that it hits basically everywhere. And we're seeing that quite a lot in this game as well.
Ooh, that trap's gonna be immediately removed by the machine gun. That was just unfortunate timing.
And he almost avoided it, but got clipped by one of the shots. Ooh. Okay, so Neryth does get in face, deal 480 damage. He's quite ahead on HP.
Yeah, we'll see what Salad can do to try and bring this back. She still has her own base and double point somewhere in the folder, so we'll see if that shows up.
Yeah, so she's decided to go for the more defensive turn, taking life aura. And this, so she's waiting for a TFC. Ooh, Elect Dragon. Okay, yeah, so she decides to use it. Because now any Elect chip from Neryth could be game. Which...
Ooh, and dodges the Ball Thunder. That would have removed the aura.
Okay, and this is actually quite a good position for Salad now. Because she can get in with Elecman into Eraseman SP, which could be quite big for her. Let's see if she decides to go for that.
Yeah, what she could do is use the since Eraseman is pseudo break, she could have used the Element Man Freeze to set up a ×2 damage, but I think she needs to save it for Neryth's Sanctuary.
Okay. That's good
And
for her.
hits the Eraseman SP down in the bottom. Good timing.
And using wind, it does remove the life aura. So there is, I think, optimal movement that could technically keep your life aura, but very hard to do, and especially with lag space, it's impossible to keep it for that long.
Yeah, the wind gusts moving on the middle row, then the top row, then the bottom row, they always follow that pattern, so you can avoid them for a little bit. And
Yeah.
but you need a way of destroying the wind box like almost immediately.
So Salt goes for a lot of the navis that she has. She decides to go for the Element Man into Blast Man, which works out very well for her because Neryth uses Sanctuary now, so she'll get 2 in 1 for free and removes the anti-damage as well.
So now she can set up the
Blast Man, yeah. That's very good stuff. And Neryth didn't have any defense, but this will remove Salad's invis and anti-damage, so Salad's still in the danger zone. Could be very close.
Oh, they both missed their TFCs.
And the panels expire, so now it's back to neutral area.
Neryth doesn't seem to have anything else this turn.
Yeah. Okay.
And that...
Okay, so Salad decides to start with the Magnum with White Pearl into anti-damage.
Yeah, and Salad has anti-sword up, but Neryth has no way of knowing that. Like, it could be an anti-damage.
Yeah. Okay, now it's the anti-damage to see him smashing to game base. And area grab. Ooh, it does land. Nice. Salad getting the comeback. I think she was down 1000 HP at some point. Now she's back to win it. Into game. Nice. It was a very close game from both sides. It was very well played. Okay, now heading into the next match, which is Joey versus me versus playerzero. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting one. Because on yesterday's stream, we've seen Shadow play versus Joey, which is the same matchup. And we saw how that went for Shadow. It was he lost all of his HP very quickly, and it was quite one-sided. And we got to see Joey being angry again, so that was fun. Okay, so if we go briefly through, so my folder has few different choices to Shadow. Shadow was running mostly J-code with destroy pulse, while I don't really have that. I'm mostly focusing on support chips with area grab, so I'm trying to go more for my charge shot.
Right, because since this week we took away the 2x wood charge, that's the main win condition for T-Hawk now, instead of just spamming ×2 Bs with a bunch of boosts.
Yeah, I mean, the charge shot is still very good. It does 200 damage, it doesn't flash, and has wood and sword element, so is very good.
Yeah, I think we saw in week 2 me with the Bug Riser sword against the Thiago's Tomahawk Man, and it was kind of just sad. Like the Bug Rise sword just traded evenly with it, and that's a Giga Chip. So
yeah, exactly.
And then for Joey, we have the C code actually, since that is both Fireburn 3 and Firehead 3.
Yeah.
He also has the Risky Honey too.
Yeah, so he has a lot of the fire chips. He has Heat Man SP and Element Man SP, so that is potentially a lot of damage. He has Bubble Wrap, which could be big because the charge shot from Tomahawk is slow enough. I think it's just enough time to land in a charge shot, but if Joey is able to try to pressure with his own charge shot, then he might be able to get in time to basically deny all of my charge shots. So that would be interesting to try to see. I think, do you have anything else to add, or should we head on?
Well, it's interesting. He's C code actually has 3 navis: Colonel, Charge Man, and Circus Man. And the only one of those he took was Colonel. Obviously Circus Man is probably by far the worst navi chip in 6. But Charge Man could actually be pretty strong, especially since Joey has 5 area grabs. So it's interesting that he chose not to take a Charge Man.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. I guess Charge Man, you need to move. Does he get in more damage with minus or plus area? I can't remember. I think it's plus, right?
Yeah, and you want to be at the very front of it because he spawns the extra train cars on each of the panels you have behind you. I think with if you have it with a full 5 columns, it's like 650 damage. So it's actually potentially very strong. It's just hard to set up.
Yeah. So I guess you decide to go for the Colonel SP, which is probably easier to set up and still deals 300 damage, which is a lot.
Yeah, and then would also do a hit Tengu for ×2 damage.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, let's head right into the match then. So we see Joey starting with 3 area grabs in hand. So he had the 2 area grabs tagged, which makes it more likely to get it earlier, and we see that here. So he does decide to go with the area grabs and then the fire burn and the bees. So bees are actually pretty good versus Tomahawk because the charge shot is slow enough that you can easily get in 2 beehives and protect yourself. So both charging charge shots.
Oh, he's gonna lose his anti-damage to the area grab. I don't think that's what he wanted.
Okay, but he does get out of the lockout, so that's good.
Yeah, but he also mashed both his area grabs, and he's still at that -1 panel, but... Oh, and he has no way of getting there to destroy the fanfare because of the conveyor panel.
Yeah, so when I placed that there, that's what I also thought. But he has air shoes, so... I mean, flood shoes, so that's not really going to work.
Oh yeah, that's true. On one of the navis that didn't have float shoes, that would have been a pretty funny setup, but...
Okay, so while I still have the invulnerability, stepping into the heat charge and then landing in the race man.
Ooh. These are some unfortunate area grab TFCs.
So throws away the area grab to go in with the race man. Unfortunately, versus Tomahawk, Raceman doesn't really do much because Raceman has stats card.
Yeah, he's already used 4 of his 5 area grabs, and he's still at a -1 area here. So I don't think that's ideal.
Yeah, and we see Joey going to give out the hands, so the charge shots. Okay, so now I'm in full area, which allows me to more easily avoid the charge shots. And he
Right, because it only... Oh, and locking him in place with the E-Tomahawk. Joey is now completely panel locked.
Yeah, so this actually worked out worse for me because before he had only one panel to get in the charge shots. I had 2 other panels that I could avoid into, but now if I want to get in with the charge shot, then I'll confirm getting hit by his charge shot. So that actually worked out worse for me.
Yeah, you'd have to like try and move and like bait it out or something, but the panels are fixed now anyways.
And unfortunately, he has to throw away the summon blacks because he has no way of activating them.
Yeah, even if he had whole summon blacks on, wouldn't work at... Oh, and the bodyguard to finish him, wow.
Bodyguard. So bodyguard anti-damage into bodyguard isn't actually confirmed, unlike anti-damage into anti-damage. So Joey could have avoided that, but then any other hits from me would have flinched him into getting the other bodyguard hits confirmed. So that was very hard on Joey to work with.
Yeah, I don't think he could have avoided it while locked into that just that back column. And that's because a bodyguard is slightly slower to activate than anti-damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't confirm it with the anti-damage
Yeah.
trade.
So trading the charge shots from the first turn, we're about the same HP, and I think it's actually worse for me to try to trade charge shots, because with the 2x, his do more damage than mine, and mine are way slower as well, so... Ooh.
Oh, dodges the fire hit and misses the fire burn. That's unfortunate for Joey.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage missing out from Joey. That would have been about 600 damage. Okay, trading area grab. But Joey's still a plus area and near Varant, but does miss. Okay, so Joe going for the grass panels to set up his fire burn. Ooh.
Oh.
Barely misses.
Yeah, and Kernel Force isn't quite as strong in Link Navi since you don't have access to... Oh, that bubble wrap will avoid the freeze from Element Man. That was good.
Yeah, so I saw in chat some people were asking what does Kernel Force do, and it basically brings out soldiers from each column that deal 30 damage but does 3 hits, so 90 damage per area grab. But also does paralysis, which is very strong and can be boosted by plus 30. So by adding all of these, it can be very strong both to enable other attacks and just for damage if you have a lot of plus area.
Yeah, but of course Tomahawk Man has status guard, so he wasn't paralyzed by it. And the Link Navis don't have access to Beast out like Mega Man does, so they can boost Kernel Force.
Yeah, because Kernel Force doesn't have any element, it gets plus 30 from Beast out, which makes it very good to use. Makes it very strong. Okay, so ooh.
Oh. And somehow this Joey though is back in the lead because yeah, he's landing all those ×2 fire chips.
Yeah, the fire chips can really change the game because they deal a lot of damage, especially on the grass panels that we have.
Yeah, it's ×3 damage, and also with that on plus 50 boost. Ooh. Oh, but
the bodyguard finishing the game. Alright, that was unfortunate for Joey. These bodyguards really hurt him, and he was mostly stuck in animation, so he didn't really have much of a way to avoid them. And yeah, bodyguard is quite strong in link navis because most of the navis lack super armor. So even without, so you don't even need white capsules. Just 3 chips to get in 1,000 damage potentially. And the chips themselves are still very good, so you can even use them individually if you don't want to use that for the PA.
Yeah, as we saw last week, versus Tengu Man, if you get it, it's actually an instant GG.
Yeah. Because it technically counts as sword element as secondary type. So it does activate anti-sword as Symes mentioned before and deals 2x damage to Tengu. Very well played to Joey both sides, and I found it interesting how different this match was compared to the game versus Shadow. But I guess I played versus Joey first, so after this match, Joey knew how to play against Tomahawk and then took that knowledge into playing versus Shadow, which made the game a lot better in his favor. So I think
Yeah, also versus Heatman, I think your bodyguard was a lot stronger than the destroy pulse against Heatman.
yeah, definitely, because the charge shot for Hitman is slow enough that the bodyguard has time to land. While Destroy Pulse would be better overall, but it has less explosive damage potential, let's say.
Yeah, and for our next match coming up, we've actually got a Buster against MegaMasterX, so we want to take a look at their setups.
Yeah, so we've seen both of them last time, but this actually makes the drawing that Buster made come into reality, because he's going with the Groundman in his drawing, and he's playing as Eraseman, so this will be an interesting match to watch for. Buster has a lot of cursor chips because he gets plus 30 on all of them, so Machine Gun deals, if he does manage to get the 4 hits, it deals 400 damage, which against MegaMasterX that's 800 damage, so that's half his HP done in one combo. So that could be very big, and the Magnums could lock him in area to confirm the machine guns.
Yeah, the one saving grace for Groundman is that he at least has super armor. So he's not guaranteed to take all those hits from machine gun. He can move out of it and try to take a minimal amount of hits.
Yeah. But if Buster is able to, yeah, go on.
His charge shot leaves him locked in place for a very long time. So if Buster uses a invis when MegaMasterX uses his charge shot and then uses a machine gun, that's a guaranteed setup for it.
Yeah, exactly. And Buster also has the wind, and I believe wind pushes the opponent away, so that can also limit how much MegaMasterX is able to gain from his charge shot.
Yeah, I think Buster is going for the slide combos with the Erase Man's gold chip, the delete beam.
Yeah.
And now if he manages to, that's also cursor, so if he manages to get that in this matchup, that entire thing will also do the ×2 damage versus Groundman, so...
Yeah, exactly. So on top of all of that, he also has the Erase Mans, all 3 of them. So that's double damage, and I don't think MegaMasterX, other than Life Aura, has anything against them. So that's going to be, if Buster is able to land them, it's going to be a lot of free damage for him.
Yeah, meanwhile, it looks like MegaMasterX is going for the Cornado, or does he have Corn Shot 3?
He doesn't, but he has the Ice Seeds, which also work with the Tornado to deal 2x damage.
Right, so he can get a freeze with the well, the problem is he'd need the freeze will which he would need to set up the tornadoes will also remove the ice panel, so it would only do the 1x damage.
Yeah. But he also does have the 2 flash bombs. He has Erase Man, Judge Man, so he could try to use these to get the confirm on the tornado.
Right, yeah, it's very interesting. You usually see people go for the ×2 tornado with the grass panels.
Yeah.
So it will be very interesting with this ice panel setup.
Alright, let's head right into the match.
Yeah, the tornadoes also do ×2 on the crater panels, but unfortunately there's no way to actually make them. You just have to hope that you get a field with them.
Yeah.
And it looks like on this ice panel field that could benefit MegaMasterX here with the all those wide shots.
Yeah, 1 second while I play some music for the stream.
Oh, and MegaMasterX dodges the machine gun. So that's already one of Buster's machine guns gone. That's huge for MegaMasterX that he managed to avoid that. But Buster also misses the erase, man. What is happening here? But he gets the erase man SP. That does a... This ice field also means it's impossible for Erase Man to land his charge shot on MegaMasterX when he's in his front column like that.
Okay.
Looks like Buster's going for a Magnum this turn.
Ooh, and MegaMasterX does get in the area grab, which is actually a good area for him. That he couldn't get the full area, because now he can try to confirm it.
Oh, he gets the freeze with the wide shot.
Is the charge shot from Grandman breaking element? I don't actually know if it deals 2x damage to Frozen.
Yeah, it does, but it's pretty slow, so I think they can mash out of the freeze in time.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we what I'd really want to see is one of these ground man matchups against the Salad.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if we have any for today, but it would be very interesting to see how Salad tries to avoid getting hit by the charge shots.
Yeah, especially since Slash Man doesn't have super armor either. That seems like that would be a really bad matchup for him.
Yeah. So far Buster's doing a good job in trying to avoid the charge shot from MegaMasterX. Okay, and it looks like MegaMasterX goes for the damage instead of trying to trigger the anti-damage that Buster put up just in time.
Oh, and the Element Man will remove all of MegaMaster's ice panels and set up the Blast Man.
Let's see. Ooh, the invis round just in time that he uses, so that's 500 damage. That's quite big. No, so Buster. Okay, so instead of deciding to go for defensive time with the life aura, he goes for more offensive with the machine gun, which could just finish the game right there. He does land it. Ooh, that wasn't an ideal KFC.
Yeah, that wasn't what he wanted there. He got caught mashing.
Ooh, and
the Meteor Knuckle, but that's in the center, so yeah, only 2 hits.
Yeah, so Meteor Knuckle hits around you on a chance randomly, so the more area your opponent's surrounded by, it has less chance to hit, which is what we saw there. And looks like, ooh, he's base too early, so misses with MegaMasterX still being on invis, so...
Yeah, so due to the pattern of the panels, Buster, he steps into those tornadoes.
Which deals 2x damage to Buster, and now it's very close.
I think MegaMaster could have finished him there by just P-shotting him 3 times. I'm not sure if he would have had time before the cust opened.
So they both saw some defense. Buster has the life order. Let's see if MegaMasterX has any way of removing that. Although Buster's area locked. Oh, nice. So what MegaMasterX did there is use the RC break as a way as defensive chip instead of offensive, and protected him the whole turn.
And Buster will... Oh, Mega Master has his own life aura now, so that Erase Man EX is not enough to destroy it. But it looks like he still doesn't have any way of removing Buster's life aura.
Okay, so he does get the Proto Man SP, so that's going to remove that, but then he only has Magnum, I think, to deal damage in his hand, so that could be enough to finish the game, but it's looking rough for Buster.
Well, the problem is, looking at Mega Master X's folder, I'm not sure, he doesn't really seem to have many ways of removing the life aura.
That is a good point, which is why we're seeing here that MegaMasterX is forced to wait out the life aura from Buster.
I think this Magnum will actually... This will be enough with that. Oh, but he misses it. Oh, wow.
And now, so MegaMasterX is just trying to wait out custom.
I think this could go to Damage Judge, and I think since Erase Man has so much more... I mean, I think since Ground Man has so much more HP, even though he has more health, I think Buster would win on Damage Judge. We'll have to see if the life aura will run out in time for Mega Master X.
Yeah, so I do think Buster should be trying to go for the turns as quickly, or maybe trying to go for the P-shot as well. Ooh, it does run out.
Oh!
See, one more turn, we see if MegaMasterX does get to land in the final
Why isn't he going...
Bubble, and that finishes off. Ooh.
The life aura runs out on the final turn. Wow. Just in time.
Yeah. So, for people that don't know, life aura runs out, I think, after 300 frames? Or is it 3000?
Like, it's like 2000 or...
Okay.
It's like, it's 3 slow gauge turns, I think.
Okay, yeah, I think that's about right. So, with fast gauge, it lasts about 14 turns or something. So, if Buster was just trying to go into custom straight away, then his life aura could have kept him in the game and probably won him.
Yeah, I don't think either of them have any gauge chips, so we'll just be playing this whole game in a normal gauge.
Okay. Buster going into Invis. Ooh, going for the 2 machine guns, but he doesn't really have the area to deal the 4 hits with both of them. We'll see if the panel's fixed before.
Yeah, but... Oh, wow, that is a clutch life aura for Mega Master X.
That's very
turn with...
So that'll protect him from minimum of 400 damage and potentially saved him the game basically. And now Buster is forced to throw away his Blastman SP just to try to remove that life aura. Although it looks like he will get in back row object, okay. So that could be big for Buster. I'm not sure how many ways Symes has of removing. Oh wow, okay.
The element trap removes it from the Blastman. Yeah, that was... wow.
Yeah, we did know that. We had no way of knowing what trap MegaMasterX had, so that was quite good for him.
Yeah, but Buster still has them, and...
Ooh.
Oh wow, the ×4 tornado.
Nice.
I think that was 640 damage. Suddenly we see Mega Master X with a huge lead again.
Yeah. But he's still area locked, so he could get hit by the charge shots from Buster. Ooh, the Meteor Knuckles. See how many hits? 1, 2... 2 hits again, yeah. Then the Erase Man into the... Ooh, he does get in the E-delete. So
This could be the game for Buster right here. With that because MegaMasterX is pretty much locked in terms of area still. He has no way of really dealing with that machine gun unless he has a invis.
And okay, so the TFC chain leading into base finish. I think that's going to finish it, yeah. Nice. It was very close. Okay, so starting on grass panel, and Buster does have the Blastman SP in his hand, but he decides to keep it for later. We'll see if that works out for him.
Well, and both of them starting off with invisible.
And then MegaMasterX with the fast gauge. So in fast gauge, invis lasts for a turn and a half or a turn and a bit. So that's why Buster decided to keep his hand, and it looks like MegaMasterX is choosing new chips. Flash bomb into Magnum. Let's see if that connects. Okay, it does connect. But this connecting will protect MegaMasterX from the remaining hits from machine gun. Okay, so they're about equal on HP. Buster does land the charge shot to finish that turn. Okay. So it looks like Buster, I think, took Raceman EX. I'm not sure if I saw which one he took. But he does have the Elements Man, so he's probably going to go for Ice to try to gain the 4. I think that's going to be 3x damage. Okay, what's the EX? And then he does land it. Oh, that was 500 HP, just 2 chips. It's very good for Buster.
And MegaMaster, it's too bad Buster doesn't have any machine guns, because MegaMasterX is locked completely in place.
Yeah, so Buster can still go in with the charges and the Magnum that he took, which probably is enough for game if MegaMasterX doesn't guess the panel fixed. Although the Raceman does pierce the trap that he had into RC break, but then the Invis TFC. So he manages to avoid that turn, but it was still a turn for MegaMasterX where he couldn't be hit, so that was still good.
Yeah, he bought himself time for those panels to be fixed, so now he can move again. But that erase, wow, that life aura just saved him. That erase, man, SP would have been the game.
Yeah, but now he doesn't have the life aura. Life aura is one of the best ways to protect against. Ooh. And then the charge shot finish. That was a close game, but yeah, so I was saying the life aura there could have protected the MegaMasterX from the magnums or used quickly for the machine gun. So that was unfortunate, but it was a very close game from both sides. We saw there how much cursed chips can deal very big damage very quickly.
Yeah, that was yeah, Buster's image, it turns out, is very accurate.
Yeah. Okay, but well played to both sides. Now heading into the next match is going to be SoulXCross versus Shadow. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting game. It's Spoutman versus Tomahawkman. So if we quickly, so SoulXCross folder has Bubble to Aqua Dragon, has a lot of chips that can stop the opponent, but that doesn't work against Shadow because he has the status guard. And Shadow has the Pulse combo and Destroy Pulse, so there could be a lot of damage just coming out in one turn from Shadow.
Yeah, especially against poor Spout Man.
And Soul does have the Element Man SP and the anti-navi, so he could try to use some of Shadow's navis against him, and the Element Man SP for the 2x damage.
Yeah, I also like the summon black with Spout Man, because what you can do is you can break your own front panels with your charge too. So you can basically Spout Man can just set up the summon blacks on his own without having to use any other chips.
Yeah, that's right. And Soul can use his charge shot to try to zone out Shadow, because he doesn't have air shoes. So if he breaks the panel to stop the charge shot from Shadow, then he can try to avoid that.
Yeah, for sure. Spoutman versus Tomahawk Man is a very interesting matchup. It can really go both ways. But against Shadow in particular, with that with all that J code, it's going to be very difficult for Soul. But we'll see if he can manage to avoid it.
All right, let's head right into it. Okay, so it looks like we're starting on grass field, which is actually better for Soul. Although Shadow does get the slow recovery from it, getting hit by 2x fire chips, which SoulXCross does have. He does have the Element Man SP, can be quite big.
Yeah, the main thing with wood body on grass panels used to be it was cheese with undershirt, but they nerfed that, I think, in Battle Network 5, where your recovery on grass panels is much slower if you're at low HP, and it doesn't matter for T-Hawk anyways because he doesn't have undershirt. That's gonna be a 2x Judge Man SP though, right out of the gate.
Into area grab, but unfortunately Soul doesn't get the optimal area for the area grab, so Soul can still avoid him. But the Element Man SP does land, so that was 600 damage?
I think 700 damage.
Yeah, so it was a lot of damage. So in BN6, if you have elemental damage, deals plus 1x instead of just like 2x, 2x. So having two elemental types dealt 3x instead of 4x, as I think in some of the other games. Ooh.
Yeah, that was definitely how it used to be. It was most notable, I think, in Battle Network 3. If you were Aqua Navi on ice panels, you take ×4 from Elec, which yeah, Shadow here is already down to under 500 HP, but I think since he's in J code, he has the recovs. But if he doesn't have those, this cross divide would actually be the game if Soul lands it.
But Soul's also not that clear, because Elec Pulse into Destroy Pulse could be game.
That's it.
Ooh, it does land the cross divide.
Very quick round 1 from Soul. Wow. Yes, the Element Man SP again, but this time, unfortunately, there's no grass panels, so it would only do the ×2 damage instead of the ×3.
Yeah, so he's probably keeping it in hand, both to try to take more of his chips and to maybe get the Element Man grass first.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate TFC for Shadow there. He's gonna lose that anti-damage to the Erase Man.
Then Soul has the Spoutman use it straight away, and Shadow still doesn't have anything, but he did play the area grab, so that will allow him to get in with his charge shots. And
also with the Elect Pulses, but instead, is he gonna get it? Oh, just misses.
That's unfortunate. That would have been 480 damage, I believe.
Yeah, and also took out Soul's back column, so...
So, by staying in place, Soul's having to trade charge shots with Shadow. I mean, Shadow is staying in place so the panel doesn't break underneath him. but he's trading charge shots. Ooh.
Yeah, the other thing about Soul's folder is he actually has some 4 SP navis, even though Spoutman only has a Mega folder +1, so...
Yeah, and the Elemental SP does land. Oh, Soul is getting in with all of the offensive navis. Looks like Shadow's not getting any of the defense.
Yeah, Soul's folder can do a lot of damage and very quickly.
The Elemental SP. Ooh, misses again. I guess.
Yeah, and that also means Soul's protected from the Judge Man.
I mean, the ice could be on purpose because to fix the panels, but I don't think it was worth it for Shadow, as I think it would have been fixed. It wouldn't have taken long to be fixed anyway.
Yeah, but Soul now has no way of removing this life aura except for the Summon Black, but he can't really land the Summon Black with the negative area.
Yeah. So it looks like he's going for more defensive turn, going for the area grab into Drip Shower. The Drip Shower could actually be used defensively, which is very interesting. Let's see if he does get that off. Ooh, he does barely in time. Nice, and now the Invis. Okay, and he still has nothing to remove the life aura. It's getting quite rough for SoulXCross because he has to throw away his chips because he really needs to find that wind rack, but he doesn't have that much custom space.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think what he's trying to do here is he's gonna use his area to force Shadow back to try and get that Summon Black. But Shadow using another one of his own area grabs. Oh, and he gets the Destroy Pulse.
That's very big for Shadow, so now Soul has the very long blind, custom HP bug, and took 800 damage. So that's very big. And
Yeah,
now
and Soul does have 2 wind racks in his folder. He has one of them tagged with the grab banner, so I think that's gonna do it. The Spoutman is getting killed by himself.
Alright. Heading into game 3, and now with the permaholes, okay.
And Soul already has one of his Summon Blacks to use with the permaholes. I think this is a good field for him.
Okay, that's what he decides to go for. So there, grab into the Summon Black. And it looks like Shadow doesn't have the secondary grab straight away. So he's going to try to push Soul away from the area. So the Invis does protect him from the ice.
Oh no, it looks like Shadow does not have anti-damage. He just took damage. He has an anti-navi.
Yeah, and now this could be quite big for Soul, because now by knowing that he can try to either force Shadow to lose chip or to get in damage for free.
And he also has that machine gun which will remove it either way.
Yeah, so he doesn't have any navi in hand, so he can't really force him to lose chip.
Oh, and he moves out of the way the Judge Man SP. That's very big.
And avoids the Electpulse.
Looks like Shadow has no area grabs this turn, so he'll just go ahead and use that banish.
Yeah. Now Soul waiting for the anti-domain. They both use the understand.
And Shadow used the anti-damage there at the end to overwrite his anti-navi.
So he could have, he either used it defensively or he might have another chip next turn that really wants to get out. Ooh, eating all of the machine gun hits. Then the Aqua Dragon. The Knuckles are stopped by the anti-damage, that's unfortunate. Oh, and Soul was mid-movement, so that allows him to not get fully panel locked. Although Soul does have quite a few codes in his hand, so he can't really take that many chips in one time.
Alright, Shadow's getting his area back with his Judge Man and using a grab of his own, but he needs to wait for that panel to be fixed. He manages to TFC the Summon Black with an anti-damage.
Oh, and Soul decides to trade anti-damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he would have wanted to move there and keep it.
Yeah, I guess moving would have cracked the panel underneath him, so maybe he didn't want to get locked in area. Wait, grab banish will pierce invis, so that's very big for Soul.
Oh, that's huge.
Ooh.
Oh, Shadow is still
Okay,
flashing.
yeah.
And that also made Soul lose his area grab. That actually worked out in Shadow's favor.
Although the panel's still broken, so he can't really do much with that. So he basically lost the 11th man speed. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, Soul actually has a huge HP lead right now, but Shadow still has that Destroy Pulse, so... And he also has his own recovs. This is still anybody's game. He gets the center hit with Justice 1.
So that's 200 damage and cracks all the panels.
Yeah, Justice 1 is actually very strong chip in this format.
And Shadow steps back, so now the panel that was cracked is broken, so he can't really get in with more of his charge shots.
I think Soul is locked into the middle column. Yeah, so he can just from his own front column.
Okay, yeah, there's good move.
Oh, that ground man is just going straight into the hole.
Yeah, and with the perma-holes, it's very difficult to get in the ground man SP, so we didn't really have much to do there.
Yeah, you could have only gotten it on the middle row, but I mean, Soul keeps breaking that to try and deny Shadow, but
now they're both locked into area with each other.
and the Destroy Pulse comes out. Of course, Tomahawk Man has that super armor, so you can't,
Oh wow, Shadow does avoid that bubble, although we didn't see it. We can know that because the ice panel didn't get removed, so we know that he didn't get hit.
Oh, and he just instantly finishes him with the Elect Pulse too.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure how much HP Shadow had left, if that cross divide would have been enough or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but so we saw there one of the features of Elect Pulse 2 is that it's very quick. So even if Shadow got a defensive chip first and was mashing it, he wouldn't have enough time because the Elect Pulse 2 would come out first, and that would give Shadow the win.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite as strong without the beast out, but when you have that plus area like that, it's obviously still very hard to avoid. So
that was a very close game, well played to both sides. Alright, so heading into the next match, it's Symes vs Versel.
yeah, and I think this is the first time we're seeing Versel, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah, so we actually just saw in that last game the power of Destroy Pulse against Spoutman.
Yeah.
And as we can see here, Versel also has it. So that's gonna be big. He has the J code like Shadow did.
Yeah, and Versel's running the Elec Man, which can give him advantage from the charge shot, dealing 2x damage and hitting from anywhere in the field. So that can be very big for him.
And also cracking panels.
Yeah. So
Yeah, one thing about this matchup is both navis can crack panels. But it's a lot worse for Spoutman to deal with than Electman, because Electman has that float choose, so he doesn't really care about the cracks as much, whereas for Spoutman it's a lot more of an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, and so looking at your folder, you have the trainer that we've seen yesterday with the double point, you have the bubble stars, the flash bombs, So you have a lot of ways to try to confirm the combos, but if through his charge shot Versel is able to break the panels to lock you in an area, then even if you can paralyze the opponent or stop him from moving, then as long as you can't confirm the train arrow, could be a lot of damage wasted.
Yeah, this is a pretty tricky matchup. That's also why I brought the two T code navis. The Tomahawk Man SP I think is very good with Spoutman because it counters both Electman and Tengu Man, who can both be pretty difficult for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think otherwise, so we see Versel running Reflector 3, which is an interesting tech choice. I don't see a lot of people running it, but I think it can be very good, especially with Link Navis, where you can get in the full synchro even as a Link Navi, whereas in normal BN, if you're crossed, then you can't really get the full synchro.
Yeah, actually the other day I was playing a friendly with the Mercury Wings.
Yeah.
And I was using Elect Pulses, and he actually destroyed me with Reflector. It countered the pulses, so...
Yeah, I mean, it deals 200 damage, so it can remove Life Aura, and gets free counters while protecting you, so it can be very big.
Yeah, and in this matchup specifically, he could use it to block my Flash Bombs and prevent the Train Arrow setup, so...
Yeah. So before we go into the match, we've left out the most important thing, which is Versel's drawing. So this is the first time we see Versel's drawing on stream, and as people in chat were saying, it's very good drawing. I really like the way Versel decided to draw it.
Yeah, he's a little battery man.
Yeah, so like the color on the battery fits in with the color scheme for Elect Man, and then the way he looks, like his face, fits very well.
Yeah, and for my drawing, it seems like every week, Soul and Uvu play Spoutman, and they just come up with something that's cuter and cuter. Yeah. And I knew I could never match them in terms of that, so I just went for something completely different with mine.
Yes, you decided to go for the evil Spoutman with the train arrow.
Yeah, I knew I could never. So I just went for a completely different take on it.
Yeah. Okay. So now, and so while we head into the match, you can see the way Salad decided to change the drawing. Not really change them, but add effects onto them to make them look even better. Which I think for both of these drawings, highlights how good they are and makes them even better. So.
Yeah, I was watching the VOD yesterday, and I loved the evil red glow around mine. So it looks like you already have
Tengu Man SP in hand, but you think about keeping it and going for the end of turn para to try to set up into next turn.
Yeah, I usually try to keep the Tomahawk Man and Tengu Man to use them together on the same turn, especially since the Tomahawk Man SP I think is a very slept-on chip. It does 280 damage, and it doesn't even cause flashing, so you can immediately follow it up.
Yeah.
Versel already got that ×2 dash Elect Sword.
Oh, nice. So this Elect Man is going to both remove your anti-damage and destroy the flash bomb you threw.
And get him his area back, so that was a good play for him.
But I think this anti-damage will probably hit and cause him to get flashed, so it gives you an opportunity to use the area grab into the wind box, which will basically stay there because Versel can't really remove it with the charge shots.
Yeah, the wind box, I think objects in general are a lot better in Link Navis. Ooh, he gets to adjust this one though to crack my entire area.
Ooh, but you do gain the 2 hits with the Tengu Man SP and the Reflector. So the Reflector protected Versel for a bit and stopped you from using your charge shot, but now you're basically locked in area, so Versel can very easily try to gain his charge shots now. And even though you do have the train arrow combo, you can't really confirm it. Ooh, Raceman SP. Let's see if he lands that.
Is he It's actually EX. He also has a
yes.
sensor and an elect sword and K code. So that's
into the SP. So the Raceman EX has the different pattern to SP and normal. If you leave him to timeout, Raceman EX will timeout on the third panel instead of the second one he targets, unlike SP and the normal race.
Yeah, and he hit me out of the drip shower there with his charge shot. I was trying to use it to avoid it, but it actually ended up backfiring, and I just got hit instead.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, I think even if you go into Versel's area, his charge shot can still target you, which I think applies to most targeting chips. But it's interesting that he can try to do that as well. Ooh. Okay, so he's looking very bad if you get hit by the elect pulse into the Judgeman. Very low on HP.
Yeah, and since I lost the area, he can just hang out in the back row, and he's also safe from the Tomahawk, man.
Yeah, and you can't remove his trap with your anti-damage, so you had to throw away a lot of chips in your hand.
Yeah, I think I threw away the, it looks like I might have thrown away the double point as well, so even if I get this train arrow, it won't be as strong.
Okay, so he puts the sensor tree, but you do destroy it, okay. So you're down to 40 HP.
And he's still almost at full HP.
So one charge shot can finish the game. Ooh, you do have the train arrow at the end. So are you going to use that or throw away? It's not enough damage for you to win through just that, so yeah, you're having to throw that. Then starting with Bass anomaly, Invis to protect him, so even that going goal.
Yeah, that would have cut his HP in half, but instead he's safe with the invisible.
Now the area grab to limit your movement, so it's starting to look worse and worse for you. Ooh, missing the elixir. Does that connect? Ooh, you're still barely an invis. Okay, the element man. You get on grass, so that's 2x damage. But that's still nowhere near enough to give you back. He's over 1k HP ahead of you. One charge shot is just going to finish it. Almost any chip he has as well.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh, barrier.
Blocked the judge man. Wow.
Interesting, nice. And barrier.
And he also stepped forward, so he doesn't even lose his area.
Okay, but you do use the life arrow, so we'll see if he has any way for moving that. Pulse 1, 2. If he had 3, that could have been destroy pulse. But doesn't look like he has it. Symes still alive with 40 HP. It's very close. Should just Versel just gets in one hit.
Oh.
Ooh. Then getting the counter hits.
Yeah, he styles on me by hitting that counter.
Okay. But now you do have a lot of combo and chips, so you start with the flash bomb into the 2 aqua chips that you can charge. Though he does have the barrier, let's see if you can remove that with your buster shots. Into full cast, whoa.
It looks like I'm just keeping my hand, because yeah, that's a lot of potential damage.
Okay, Versel did go through a lot of his chips, so now he gets a new hand. He can choose from his new chips to see what he picks. Ooh, and they both connect, but luckily you were on the holy panel. So you
so I only take the normal damage from the judge man.
Panel grab. Let's see, that does hit. Let's see if the bubble connects. Ooh, missed the bubble, but the flash bomb looks like will land.
I also have the Tomahawk man here.
Ooh, reflector, nice. Into the full hits machine gun. And sensor 3. Oh wow. So that's probably just going to be one hit if he does land it. Ooh, barely misses. But that still limits your movement. So probably going to use the race man, yeah. Just to allow you to freely move again.
Yeah, I was smashing pretty hard to try and get out of there before the sensor opened its eye, so just made it.
Okay, again you do get the bubble into Aqua Dragon.
Yeah, part of the reason why I have the white pill is to use with the train arrow against navis who have super armor, since otherwise they can get out of it. But since Electman doesn't have super armor, you don't need the white pill on the train arrow. But he gets the both erase mans.
It does miss the race man SP. Could have waited that one out. Ooh, looks like you're barely getting both of your chips.
Yeah, and both of them with the charge as well.
Ooh, okay, and then into the freeze. Nice, so that allowed you to get in with charge shots. Now let's see, use the life orb just in time to avoid his Elite Dash Sword.
Yeah, and Versel doesn't seem to have a life aura of his own, so I just am discarding the wind track basically, so it doesn't. Oh, and he was also stepped forward, so I got the hit with it.
Although you are going for the train arrow combo with the double point, so we'll see if that lands. It's more than enough damage if you do land everything.
Yeah, I think it does like I think the train arrow does like 1100 damage.
You have the wind. Just this one. Okay, so that limits your movement. It might allow him to avoid your double point, and then right after the anti-damage. Nice. It was well played waiting, because after the end damage he has few frames where he can't really move, so your train arrow was just in time to hit him on these frames, just combo him into losing.
Yeah, you can if you do it like that, I think he basically spawns on top of a train arrow. He was also on an ice panel, so yeah, it froze him. I think it's similar to the Elect Pulse Destroy Pulse combo, where you pop their anti-damage with the first pulse, and then use the Destroy Pulse right away, and they can't get out of it.
So you have the train arrow in hand, but keeping it for other ways to confirm. Judgment. Ooh, that's bad TFC, so this is going to remove both of your defense and return the area into the elixir, which both nice. That's very well played from Versel. Using the elixir to extend the anti-damage frames while also paralyzing you and dealing 2x damage.
Well, I think the bubbles on Aquaman's charge shot actually like linger on the field for a little bit. So he like moved back into it and only getting 2 hits with the base anomaly.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. You're still not moving back from the area. That's one of the things with Judgment, is that although it returns your panels, your opponent has to step off of them for them to actually go back.
Oh, and I don't get the I was trying to line up the Judgment, but I didn't get the chance to get it lined up before he opened the cusp.
You do have... Okay, so area grab that will protect your anti-damage. The elixir, reflector, deracement, nice. So if he does get that though, yeah, you can't wait out Eraseman SP in this position. I mean AX in this position, because he comes out in the 3rd panel, which I'm not sure if Versel did know about. You do have the Slashman SP, we'll see. Okay, so that does connect.
Yeah, I was just waiting for the hole in the middle of his area to repair itself, so he wouldn't be behind it and be safe from the slash man.
Yeah, although you still have the aqua dragon in hand, so you had to throw that away. It probably was worth it just to try to mash it out to get the ice panels. Ooh, race man, piercing the embers into. Okay, let's see if the combo does land. Just this one.
Oh, he destroyed it with a wind rack,
Ooh,
and
nice.
he manages to avoid it.
And now he steps away from your trainer. Nice.
Yeah, he managed to destroy the flash bomb with a wind rack just at the last second before it would have went off. And I'm also trapped.
So now, ooh, Raceman SP, okay. Probably was better for him to wait for your defense, because that's one of the very strong things about Raceman, is that he pierces and damage an base. And with the area that Versel has, he can force you to take the charge shots. So, and if you use defense, then he can use Raceman then.
Okay, so I had a Tomahawk Man SP in my hand there. And it looks like, yeah, I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, I mean, is that 480 damage potential, so that can be big for you. Oh no, it's 560. And, ooh, it does land by TFC's base, so you're trading about the same damage.
Yeah, I think I got like 80 more or something, but yeah, that was, we both just hit each other with two of our strongest chips there.
And then cracking the panels. Ooh, you do trade charge shots, but that exchange is better for Versel. And then you take a full hand, so you have a lot of combo chips, and let's see if that does go through. Machine gun misses. Bubble, two. Ooh, and that's game. Nice. That was very close game.
That was a very scary match.
Yeah, I mean, so Versel didn't have any defense to use against your flash bomb, and then you were able to combo in your other chips. Because for him, basically, the only ways in his folder is reflector and life or anti-damage, but I think he already used a lot of these, so he didn't really have much to do against flash bomb.
Yeah, the only other thing he could have done would be if he had like managed to move and step under it in time.
Yeah. Alright, that was very well played for Versel. I mean, this is the first match or the first time Versel joins the tournament in quite a while, so very well played, and hopefully we'll get to see more Versel games in the future as well. Okay, so going into the next match, it's playerzero versus Shadow, so it's me versus Shadow.
And it looks like a Tomahawk mirror.
Yeah, so this is interesting. This is the only Tomahawk mirror we had this cycle, because we're the only ones playing Tomahawk. And we've already talked a bit about the differences in our folders, with Shadow going for Destroy Pulse and the J code, while I'm going more with the support chips and trying to get in with more of my SP navis.
Yeah, and the Destroy Pulse is actually very interesting because it actually goes through status guard. It's the only status effect in the game which actually will bypass status guard, so that will actually work in this matchup, won't it?
Yeah, so I think also the blind the Destroy Pulse deals, also I don't think that affects Tomahawk Man either, so
no, but I think the stun will go through.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the HP drain.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I think they still go through, but I'm not really sure. I guess we'll find out in the game. But yeah, so we both have Meteor Knuckle, we both have the Element Man SP, so we both have a lot of damage potential, especially with our charge shots. But because our charge shots have a lot of delay between moving and ending the charge shot, so it will be interesting to see trying to play around who's able to land the charge shots and trying to avoid it.
Yeah, actually, I just realized one thing about your folder. You have the Z code support, but decided not to go with a sanctuary.
Yeah, so one of the ways Element Man into Element Man SP or Blast Man SP is quite a common combo. So Sanctuary will lose both to that and give that opponent advantage, as we've actually seen in previous game. So I don't really want to go for that, and I still have the Bubble Wrap, which is very interesting. Because against Shadow I don't really want to use that with all of his Elect Pulse combos, but it's still very good against the Charge Shot from Tomahawk Man.
Yeah, that's true. He, obviously all those Elect Pulses will counter it, but if you manage to block those or avoid those, then the Bubble Wrap could be very useful when you're trading charge shots with each other.
Okay, let's head right into the match. Okay, so it's going to be from my point of view, and it looks like we already start on grass panels, and I have the Blastman SP in hand. This is the first time just trying to see how I can order my chips. Ideally, I'd really like to get in the Blastman SP, which is why I'm trying to get in some damage. Okay, so start with the slow gauge. I'm the only one running gauges, so it's just going to be the one slow gauge between us. Okay, to Judge Man exchange, so that regains my area. Actually, just 1 second, I'll move it a bit back. Okay, so the Judge Man exchange.
Yeah, and of course, since you both have a status guard, neither of you is going to be paralyzed by the Judge Man.
Yeah, and now, so I was waiting to try to get in the optimal area for area grab, but we both had the area grab, so it doesn't really matter. But I still have the Blastman SP. Let's see if
which would do and Shadow is standing on the grass panels instead of the poison, because obviously he recovers HP instead of it draining, but
Ooh, and looks like it will land. So I was waiting until the very last moment to try to get that in. Which is actually both good and bad. It's good because it forces the opponent's hand to use defense first, but now Shadow is starting the next turn in short invis and flashing status, so I can't really try to combo anything into him. Okay. So in my hand I do have 2 Wind Drags, the Bubble Wrap, Anti-Sword, and the Neovari Sword.
oh yeah, just so you won't be able to get a bodyguard confirm in this matchup, because the only way to get a bodyguard against a super armor and status guard would be like, I think, get on.
Yeah.
But on the anti-sword on its own will actually be very useful, because the Tomahawk charge will trigger it.
Yeah. I guess the other way that I do have is Knuckles, if I can lock the opponent in with that.
And yeah, that's an extra 300 damage.
And it extended my animation by protecting me, so that was quite big. Then let's see.
So you also hit him with your own charge, so I think you got 500 damage from all that.
Yeah. And then I do land the special chip, so now I'm quite ahead on HP.
Yeah, Shadow did get a Spoutman SP though, at least, but he's still on about 800 HP behind. We'll see if he can bring this back.
Okay.
I think you both also have the Recov 300s, so
yeah, that is true. So Shadow could still get in the Recov 300s, and he doesn't really need that many chips to try to get back into the game. Elements Man SP, getting in the Destroy Pulse, he still has a lot of damage potential. Okay, so that was one of the recoveries.
And it doesn't seem like either of you have a area.
Yeah. Just going for Buster Shots. Try to get something in. The Wind Drag misses. Waiting until the end, and then probably trying to mash all of my defense chips. then I think I didn't use the grab banish on purpose, because that way Shadow doesn't know that I threw away, so he still is worried that I could have grab revenge.
Yeah, for sure. It's better to not give in situations like that. It's better to not give it away to your opponent that it's gone. So he still has to consider that.
Okay, so he's area grab exchange, and now but Shadow still has his trap up, so trying to go in with a charge shot to remove that. And he did use the invis. And Windrak to remove my bubble wrap.
Yeah, that's interesting that he just decided to remove it, because obviously he does have those pulses. He could have gone for the 2 times damage play.
I guess he wanted to try to get in with the charge shot exchange. Okay, and I decide to go in with my hand, so he starts with the Erase Man, so I just keep the anti-navi, because Erase Man doesn't really do much outside of damage at that point.
Yeah, the thing about a matchup like this is having the area advantage is pretty big, because you can just at this point it's fine to
Ooh, the Elementsman SP TFC into game.
Wow, that was a huge turnaround from Shadow.
Yeah, so that was quite a big misplay on my part, because I only needed to use 1 charge shot to get to win. So he was forced to use his Elementsman SP first, and if I just waited on my anti-navi, then I would have won that game. So that was a very big misplay on my part. And I even took the anti-navi back, because I knew he still has the Elementsman SP in his folder. He could still use it. Okay, so again starting with the slow gauge. We do have the Tomahawk Swing, which does hit and breaks one of his solar panels.
Ooh, and the anti-navi to take his element man.
Yeah, so this anti-navi could actually be bad if he has Elementsman SP or anything after that, but I do have the invis, so it wasn't as bad for me. Okay, he does use invis. I'm just waiting out the turn. Okay, he's Judgment, which is going to whiff. Does he have anything afterwards? To the Life Aura.
Life Aura.
So this field we started with Holy Panels, so normally my charge shot would deal 200 damage and remove his Life Aura, but thanks to the Holy Panels now I can't do that. And I don't even have... Yeah.
The Proto-Man or Erase Man would also normally be able to remove it. And it's gonna be a...
Yeah, I don't have any Windrak in hand, so I'm just really thinking there, what can I do to try to remove that Life Aura. I do have 2 area grabs, so I can try to stop him from getting full area lock on me.
Yeah, what you would have had to do would be to try and force him off the holy panels, but since he can also attack you from them, so he has no reason to leave the holy panels.
Yeah. And now, so I'm using the area grab. I'm trying to go for the 1 panel that he has fixed. I mean, that doesn't have the holy panel. Okay. So avoid his charge shot, but he still has the Life Aura. I still don't have anything to do against that.
Yeah, but that 1 panel he has to step off to hit you as just a normal panel, so you could potentially, when you force him to move there, remove his Life Aura.
Yeah, so that's why I decided to do there. I just take in one of his charge shot to try to remove his Life Aura, and I took the 2 recoveries in hand. Even though I couldn't get full advantage from them, it was still clogging my hand. So I just took it to try to get in something in case I can't remove his Life Aura for next turn. And we both avoid each other's charge shots. I have to waste one of my recoveries.
Yeah, the one issue with a Tomahawk Man's charge is it does have a lot of wind up, so you are able to react to it and move out of the way if you don't have if there's not a full lock.
Yeah, so movement is very important in this game, because you can, if you slow movement or slow on using your charge shot, you can easily take hits while your opponent is able to freely avoid. Ooh, I'm missing Destroy Pulse. That was big.
Oh, and the area finally expired.
Shadow missing Start Shot. Then I go for the Eraseman SP, although it's half damage. They do have the Windrak afterward to push into Area Grabber.
Ooh, and now Shadow's locked in, and he has no holy panels either. Yeah, you can just bait his charges out and then use your own.
Yeah. And I think I had the anti-damage up anyway, so even if he tried to hit me first, then I would still have extended animation with the anti-damage. Okay, so the area grab comes down. I should have TFC'd my area grab to protect the anti-damage, so that was misplay on my part. But I don't really get that punished with it and still regain the area. Okay, so place the fanfare outside of his area grab range. Step in front of it. Now I do
And
have...
are you gonna get the Oh, he gets the double life sword, this guy.
And then the Windrak to finish the turn.
Yeah, Blast Man would do it, Meteor Knuckle could also do it, depending on how many hits it does.
And I do have the life aura, so I can stop him from pushing me back as well with the grab banish.
And also a stand on the holy panel, so he can't even destroy it.
Bit of TFC chain, but Shadow's a lot more forced to use his defense. Then nice Windrak, stopping my charge shot, but the Knuckles, and that's game.
Yeah, I think that was 4 hits,
Yeah.
and I think he was in the middle. So I think that was pretty lucky, but even if the Knuckle didn't kill him, you were still in a much better position.
Yeah. Okay, starting to the game with just normal panel, normal field, which you actually don't see all that often, which is interesting. Okay, so I started this turn because I don't have any of my area grabs. I'm thinking about starting with the grab banish so I don't allow him to gain charge shot damage, and then using fast slow gauge at the end of turn, both to empty my hand because I don't really want to get forced into slow gauge turn with his charge shots.
Oh,
Okay,
that looks like it's gonna work.
Yeah, but he does have the anti-damage, so that's... Ooh, misses the Eraseman.
Yeah, but you have the Windrak, which will still push him out.
Push him out. So using slow gauge at near the end of turn. Ooh, misses the E-Tomahawk.
Yeah, but we'll see if what Shadow has that can maybe capitalize on having you locked into that row.
I don't think he has much in his folder. I guess the pulses, if he can try to get me on that, I have less of area to avoid them, and I still don't have any area grabs. I do have one, I guess, but if he gets more than one, he's running 5 area grabs compared to my 4. So if he uses 2 area grabs into pulses, then he can't get me with them. Ooh, nice.
Oh, he cancels your charge with the Elect Pulse too.
Okay. I don't really have much I can do. Just taking his hits. Then at the last second he avoids my Itomok, and this was bad area grab for me. Because I still can't get confirm on my charge shots. Though I do land the race match, which I guess isn't bad.
Yeah, it's a free 120 damage, so why not take it?
Yeah. And he didn't use any defense afterwards, so I didn't really get punished on using the Raceman early. But this turn I still don't have any of my area grabs, although I do have the White Capsule, which I think can be useful, but because it doesn't paralyze, I will be using that to hit him with something that normally flash, but won't give flashing thanks to the White Pal. Ooh, using Invis.
Oh, he uses the Invis at the last second.
Then his second recovery. Trading anti-damage.
Yeah, it's Life Orb also isn't very useful against Tomahawk Man since his charge shot's strong enough to destroy it. So usually you just have to camp it to try and block one of his dimming chips, or if before the nerf like a bees or something.
And even versus some of the SP navis, if you can stop element mana speed, that's still quite good for life aura. So
yeah, in the last round though, we saw a lot more mileage out of Life Orb because of the holy panel field.
Yeah. Shadow avoiding the charge shots, plus mana speed into anti-damage. Ooh, that was
anti-navi.
So taking 90 extra damage compared to... Oh, I could avoid the charge shot, okay.
Yeah, but that was actually like a 580 damage swing with the anti-navi on the Proto Man. Because it saved him that damage and you took it instead.
Oh yeah. So that white pill actually worked out against me. Okay, I do have the 2 recoveries and the one drag, so I'll take that. Just mashing
Here
into
comes the giant fist.
Then giant fist from the sky. Then I'm trying not to move so I don't break the panels. Then we just trade buster shots. I didn't really mind because I'm ahead on HP.
Oh, and you're still ahead just by a 20 HP. Oh, 15.
Yeah, the game is still very close. Okay. Although I do still have the crack panels, and so that limits my movement by a lot. Okay, so taking a lot more defensive turn with anti-navi, airy grab, anti-sword, than the life aura and fanfare. Okay, so I decided to go with the knuckles instead.
And Shadow is still just taking those P shots.
He does get me with his own knuckle.
And that's in the corner, so that's a lot of damage.
And I'm locked in area as well, so I'm just taking his buster shots for free. Airy grab. Okay, so that will trigger his anti-damage. So I decide to do there is throw away my anti-navi to get in with the anti-sword. And because he avoided the last hit, that allows me to get in with the knuckles, but that still deals 1 hit. So
yeah, but now he's locked completely in place. Now you could go for the Neo variable sword.
Yeah, so the Neo variable will deal 400 damage, so that's half his HP.
Yeah, I always liked the encode synergy with a Meteor Knuckles and a Neo variable sword. I'm kind of surprised that we never saw any of the Proto-Mans use Meteor Knuckles. I think all of them went for Gregor Gigas.
Yeah.
Either a Kernel Force or Delta Ray.
Okay, so now I have the airy grab. Preparing a charge shot, just waiting out. Ooh, Destroy Pulse missing on my anti-damage. Then double life sword does go off.
That's it.
That's game.
Wow.
Nice. Those got very close. Now, interestingly, after the match, I was talking with Shadow about it, and one of the things he said that it was a lot better for him if he just took the individual parts from pulses instead of going for the destroy pulse, because the first one would remove the anti-damage and then confirm the other two, which would have given him game.
Yeah, I think it. Well, I'm not sure because the Destroy Pulse 1 and Destroy Pulse 3 don't really. I mean, Tomahawk Man doesn't really care about those too much. But the Destroy Pulse 2, obviously.
Yeah.
Not even the status guard can stop the drag effect, so.
Yeah, I mean, my HP was low enough that even just the damage from these pulses was more than enough to give him the game, so. That was very close.
Yeah, you would have had to like move back out of the way or something, but you also wanted to be in that area
Yeah.
to use the very sword, so
It was close, and it was a fun match. Well played. It's a good game. Alright, so heading into the next match, it's versus pair or nugget. So I think this also is the first time we see Nugget in this week. Which is very interesting. So the folder he's going for has 5 panel grabs, 2 Judgman, Colonel, 3 Magnums and 2 Black ones. So, and the 2 common draws. So he has a lot of different things that you don't really see typically.
yeah, what he's going for is he's trying to roll lock you with the panel grabs and the coming roads, and then just spam the crazy train on you.
Yeah, and so the black bomb can also be used to deal in damage, so that's another advantage, and it's even good in the mirror match because if the opponent tries to step under it, they will activate the flash bomb anyway. I mean the black bomb anyway, so that's very interesting.
Yeah, I like the black bomb with charge man. He also has an elect man SP, and that will also bounce off the black bombs for the extra hits. So
yeah. Otherwise, oh yeah, so we didn't really talk about the drawing. I also like the drawing we have from Nugget there. It's really funny.
yeah.
It was one of the funnier ones that we have this cycle, I think. So.
Well, it looks like the crying guy and the
yeah.
like the no, you can't do that, and then the
yeah. Alright,
no, you can't just lock me in place with the panel grabs and coming road. Haha, crazy train, go brr.
yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's head right into the match.
Yeah, and then salads we've already seen with the panel grabs to set up the triple hits on the kunais and all that fun stuff, and also the magnums.
Yeah, so Nugget does have 2 grab banish, so he's very heavy on trying to get in his area, and Salad not running any of the area grabs, so it will be interesting.
Yeah, actually neither of them have area grab, they just have a panel grab, so we're gonna see a panel grab war here. So, that could be fun.
Okay, so starting on ice, which isn't actually good for either of them, because if Salad can easily break the cubes, and that way that will stop them from centering themselves.
And I don't think Salad wanted that on TFC because Nugget's gonna have the trap put up after, whereas if she just waited, she could have broke the trap.
Yeah, I mean, she could have been worried that Nugget has the anti-navi and want to get in.
Oh yeah, Nugget does have an anti-navi in his folder, which is anti-navi is probably the best counter to a Iceman SP.
Yeah. And she avoids getting locked in by the panel grab. I mean, the lock-in isn't really that bad for her because it still is panel grab area, which she kinda wants to get in damage with the kunais.
Oh wow, and she gets the anti-navi on Nuggets Erase, man, SP.
Nice. And she has her own erasement as well. Ooh, is that
was unfortunate.
Okay, so that was the anti-navi. So now he gets in with 3 hits. She has the 11th man. Okay, yeah, so she does go for grass, I mean, to allow her to move freely. Then the magnum.
Yeah, Nugget doesn't have a bust drop, so he only has the attack 4 crazy train, but that magnum is gonna completely cut off the crazy train anyways.
I mean, I'm not sure if Salad actually meant this position because it stops Nugget's charge shot, but it's still, I don't think it's the ideal for her because she can't really do the multiple hits from the charge shot that she typically wants.
Yeah, but she can at least do something. Nugget can't really do anything. That's Chargeman's really his main weakness,
Yeah.
is just holes.
We'll use the special tip, it just does connect. And the Colonel, is that? I don't think that's connecting though. Ooh, it does. Nice. The trap, I think Nugget's going to lose that. Okay, just manage to double just in time. But Salad's charge shot doesn't really care. Let's see if she manages. Ooh, she gets paralyzed, so she can't really mash to try to gain space. And now Nugget knows about the double point, so he probably expects something to come into next turn. She's very likely to start with defense. Select now. Ooh, okay, interesting. Interesting sequence from Nuggets. I mean, don't think Salad has much else to go with the double point, so he could have tried to move forward in area to avoid him.
Or just camp defense for the... Yeah. But still, Salad will only have 450 HP herself after this erase, man, so this is still a close game.
Salad gets in 2 hits with the charge shots, and now 1 hit's enough to finish off. Let's see if he gets in his charge shot in time. Oh, it wasn't. Okay, I thought they dealt 60. Okay, I mean, he could have tried to use his charge shot to protect him from the last hit. But it's still a very close game. Nugget can very easily deal enough damage to completely reverse it.
Yeah, the problem is that a defense Salad has up. Ooh, misses the life or a TFC on the Magnum.
Now the Embase into common ground, so Salad doesn't really have a lot to move into. So she's just keeping the area. Is that gonna...
Ooh.
I mean, that was
Nugget
still not game, but...
Yeah, but Nugget takes out his own coming road with that.
Okay, Salad... Now the HP is a lot closer.
Yeah, it's also unfortunate for Nugget that Salad's up in the top row because he has Delta Ray. If like Salad was trapped in the middle or bottom instead, that would be a lot better for Nugget.
Yeah, I mean the panels are still broken, he can't really do much more. That's still a good point.
Well, he doesn't need he wouldn't need all 3 of the hits with Delta. Oh, is that Judge Man?
Ooh. Triggers the anti-damage into... Oh wow. So the other Judgment would have been game if connected to the books.
This is so close.
Ooh, the black one and sword, grab banish. Let's see.
Yeah, we have to remember here that Nugget doesn't know that that's a anti-sword. Like for all Nugget knows, that's just the anti-damage. So
it's getting very close. So Salad's going for the special chip because it gives you invulnerability frames. So she's going to try to use that to both damage and or maybe not. Interesting. So I was thinking she might go for it to protect herself, but she's...
I think it might also destroy the Black Bomb.
I think Black Bomb has 200 HP, so it might be just short of doing that, which is why...
I think Black Bomb has 100,
is it 100?
but
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
She's going for the anti-damage. Ooh, the Magnum. Let's see what he decides.
Oh no.
I mean, she was still invis, so that would have missed anyway. And he's... Oh wow, that's getting very close. Now neither of them can gain with the charge shots, but Nugget has the Black Bomb.
Yeah, I actually watched this match live when Salad was streaming it, and it was pretty crazy.
The machine gun. Ooh!
Oh.
Getting the confirmed hits with the machine gun.
But that was pretty insane. Nugget surviving multiple turns at just 20 HP.
Nugget had very good TFC, defensive TFC, so that was very well played.
Yeah, that was very clutch to survive that long, but unfortunately he just couldn't find a way to finish off Salad there either.
And as Shadow's saying in chat, so it was during the charge man's charge shot wind up, so if he did get that few frames earlier, he could have avoided the machine gun and maybe survived another turn to get a game. That was very close.
Yeah, that's a good point. Chargeman does have a lot of cooldown after he respawns from using his charge shot, where he's just stuck.
So they're both forced to stand on poison panels. Ooh, missing Judgeman. Let's see if Salad's Magnum. Ooh, that might be too early. I don't think that's what Salad wanted to go for. Although now she can't really destroy the black bomb, so that's good placement from Nugget. Getting flashing using the panel grab.
Yeah, and Salad is stuck now, but until those holes fix themselves, Nugget can't really do much either.
Yeah.
He will at least get this erase, man.
Yeah, and one point is that the conveyor panels, they don't stay forever, they also expire. But I think they have very long time where they stay on the field.
Yeah, the conveyor panels are also removed if like a wood attack passes over them.
Yeah.
But Salad doesn't really have any wood in her folder. The Element Man obviously would have removed them anyways.
Yeah. And she ended the turn very defensively, so she's free to start with the Magnum. Okay, let's see if she gets the locket on. Ooh, I still think that's not ideal for Salad, though I'm not sure. I mean, at this point it could be good for her defensively more than offensively, because she still can gain with the one hit from her charge shot, while Nugget doesn't really have anything he can do.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the better play from Nugget would have just been to ooh, that would have been 2 hits with the Elect Man, but that anti-navi, wow.
Nice. I mean, didn't Salad already have the anti-damage instead, so I guess she decided to go instead of defense to go for the more offensive play with the anti-navi TFC. Nice. But she still doesn't have any way of regaining her area, so she's still locked in. And I guess that's one of the disadvantages of using just panel grab, because if any of these were area grabs, then she could move freely. Ooh, Judgment does connect. Although it does look like the conveyor panels are expiring, yeah. Nice, she must just in time. The anti-damage protecting Nugget there.
And Nugget blocking the panel grab at least.
Nice. Solid haven't used the second panel grab in less optimal position. And now Solid saw Nuggets using the area grab, the one drop at the end. Okay, but she decides to keep her life aura. Grab banish, so that will trigger the anti-damage. Panel grab, okay. Let's see if she gets it. Okay, nice. Ooh, 80 HP and the Element Man will finish it off. Nice, well played. It was a very close game. Especially game 1. That really could have gone to either side, and it was very much well played from Nugget on his defense.
Yeah, it seemed very hard for Charge Man to deal with those magnums. They completely cut him off from his being able to actually really do anything.
Yeah, and I mean, interestingly enough, although Habbatch is banned, if you use Habbatch on Charge Man, then I'm pretty sure it's still doesn't give his charge shot the ability to go over holds. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, wow. That's, yeah. Part of when I use Charge Man in the second cycle, part of why I went for the Bug Riser sword is because it kind of lets me fight against holes better.
Mm. Yeah, and although it's very unusual to see Bagraz sword in Link navis because it's usually not very worth it, but for you, because of the difference in area that you're able to hit, it was actually worked out pretty well for you.
Well, I think it's 4 out of the 5 Gregor navis don't have super armor.
Mm.
So Bug Riser sword isn't very good without the super armor, but
Yeah.
Charge Man does have the super armor, so I also think it works out a lot better with him.
Yeah, that is a good point. Okay, let's head into the next match, which is SoulXCross versus Uvu. Ooh, so this is going to be an interesting. So it's Spalmer, which we've already seen before, but this time we have the drawing, the match of the drawing, the battle of the drawings.
Yeah, the two acute Spoutmans, not the evil one.
Yeah, yeah. So this is going to be an interesting, and their folders actually quite interesting to play against each other as well. Because Uvu has the Poison Pharaoh Anubis into Poison Pharaoh. So if Uvu's able to get that in, it's easier to get that in basically back row where the Churchill of SoulXCross isn't able to reach. So that's better than normal matchups. And SoulXCross doesn't have Blast Man, he doesn't have many way. I'm not even sure if he has any way of removing back row objects. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So if Uvu is able to put in the Poison Pharaoh at the actual back row, that can be very big.
Yeah, I actually really like the P code for a Spoutman with the wide shot and the Ice Dragons. Ice Dragon is actually really nasty because if you freeze them with it, it spawns another, like it puts another ice panel back under them, so you could freeze them again.
Yeah.
You get multiple freezes off in a row, so it's the P code combos with Ice Dragon can be very nasty.
Yeah, that is true. Alright, let's head into the... Oh yeah, and the Giga, they chose different Gigas, which is interesting. Uvu decided to go for the Meteor Knuckles, while Sol's going for the Cross Divide. So that was an interesting difference in choice between these two. Alright, let's head right into the match. Okay. So they're starting with cubes and poison field. And SoulXCross already has the Aqua Dragon and Slashman, although Slashman SP is less good versus Spout because of how the Charger is able to break panels very easily. So 1 second, I'm going to move that ahead slightly as well.
Oh, and wow, and he immediately smacks the rock cube into him with the wind rack for 200 damage.
Nice. Although the corn shot does miss. And
so this is from looks like it's from Soul's perspective.
Yeah. Ooh,
when he gets the summon black.
Yeah. So I think I'm not sure what Uvu has in hand, but the better play when most of the time you really want to go into cost as soon as you can. Because if your opponent isn't going to cost, that means they have something in their hand, and if you don't have that big advantage from keeping your hand for that turn, then you want to deny the advantage to your opponent. Ooh, the flash
and
bomb.
then Life Aura will block the flash bomb.
Oh, the Elect Dragon was just late on removing the Life Aura.
Yeah, and Uvu used that wide shot from the bottom row, unfortunately, so Soul actually was able to avoid it by moving to the top row.
And now Soul's going for his own Aqua Dragons. We'll see if he gets the freeze combos with that. Oh, nice. The race man confirmed. Okay, but I think I'm not sure if Ubu has enough time to move away from the charge shot, so he might have to lose his anti-damage. Yeah, barely.
Oh, and he does.
Oh, nice.
When he
The
gets
drip
the-
shower. Gets the 2 hits because of that freeze. Okay. Looks like Soul's trying to think on what he takes. He has the area grabs, but the panels are broken, so he can't really get that much advantage from his area grabs. Although he does have the Element Man into Element Man SP, so he can try to use his first Element Man to beta out defense. I mean, oh, that's a race man. I thought that was Element Man. So now he can use the race man to remove the traps into Element Man. But it looks like he's going for his drip shower as well. Get revenge of the dance on Ubu since Ubu got on him last turn, so he's going for it this turn. Although it looks like he's going to get only 1 hit. Or he's not even going for it, okay. Ooh, he does get the 2 hits. Ubu steps on the ice panels and gets frozen. Okay, and now Soul has plus area. See how he gets advantage from that. Charging the bubble. Ooh, that hits twice. That's really unfortunate for Ubu. Losing a lot of HP on that. And this was an example of the, I think it was almost frame perfect movement that causes bubble on ice to bubble instead of freeze. It has 2 conditions. If you use it point blank, then it will bubble, or if your opponent has that movement where you move on the same frame that you get hit, or very close to the same frame that you get hit, so that leads you to count as in between the 2 panels, which bubbles him again. So that was very bad for Ubu. Ooh, it does have the poison fire, but unfortunately that is going to be in range of Soul's charge shots and bubble. But that's nice avoiding the bubble, but he does get hit by the charge shot. Okay, let's see. Invis, TFC, the Element Man SP into anti-damage. Ooh, that was anti-navi, nice. So now Ubu is able to gain the 240 damage, closing up the gap between them. Ooh, that was unfortunate. Getting frozen confirms the second charge shot hit, so Ubu couldn't really do much. We did see the poison Pharaoh land though, so hopefully we'll be able to get more Pharaoh action into next turn. But yeah, so that 400 damage from the double bubble hit, that really hurts Ubu. So it looks like SoulXCross is starting with the grab banish into area grab. He's expecting the area grab to come in from Ubu, which is why he started with the grab banish. Looks like Ubu with the anti with the flash bomb, but that goes into the anti damage. Ubu does land the 2x wide shot, which is very hard to avoid, almost impossible if positioned correctly.
Yeah, I think wide shot is actually a pretty underused chip. It's actually it's also in R code. It's a very good confirm for uninstall. And yeah, in the P code, it's a great for these freeze combos with the Ice Dragon and the ×2 charge.
Ooh, looks like Soul uses the Erase Man too early, because now Ubu will still be invis afterwards, so he won't be able to combo that into his Aqua Dragon. Ooh, the grab revenge, nice. So now Ubu gets back the area into area grab. Okay. So now Ubu does get hit by the Aqua Dragon though.
Yeah, another funny thing with the Ice Dragons, if you use it and they're already on an ice panel, if you catch them while they're moving, like you could freeze them and then they move and
Yeah.
take a second hit, which with the ×2 charge from Spoutman could be very powerful.
Yeah. Which is similar. It's actually pretty similar to what happened with the bubble as well. Although I think the bubble one is harder to get in with the movement. Because with bubble you have to be moving in the same direction as the bubble, which is, I guess, less directions than the Aqua Dragon. The HP is exactly
Yeah, with the
same.
dragon, I think.
Oh, wow. So as Shadow pointed out in chat.
Yeah,
so...
with the dragon, it can hit twice if you're moving down or moving back.
Okay. Ooh, that does freeze into the grab banish. Pretty sure the bubble isn't fast enough, isn't slow enough, yeah.
When Soul uses the machine gun when Uvu was still flashing from the grab banish. And they're just I think that's gonna freeze Soul. So yeah, he's just going for defense here.
Yeah.
He got frozen.
Ooh, the Knuckles, but unfortunately the Invis. I mean, that was still not optimal area for the Knuckles to land, and that allows SoulXCross to now get in with his Summon Blacks. So that actually worked out better for Soul than Uvu, which is unfortunate. That was close as well. If Uvu had stepped forward, then he could have avoided the second Summon Black. But he ended up taking 500 damage that turn. Now, Invis just in time to avoid that bubble. The right shot connects. And now, Soul is trapped in place, although he does have the anti-navi, which Ubu is going to find out soon about, yeah. So Ubu knows about the anti-navi, which is actually bad for Soul, because he has a lot of chips that he does want to keep. So if Ubu has a navi to TFC now, he can force Soul to lose his life aura, which can be very big, especially with Soul being trapped in area. Okay, we'll see what Ubu has. Defense, Soul decides to keep still at TFC. Another area grab, okay. Ooh, poison for a nice.
Drops the Pharaoh.
That doesn't work through Invis, but it does pierce the barrier.
Oh no, the hole already.
Ah.
Oh man.
That's really unfortunate for Ubu and the poison fires. And now Ubu's the one locked in area.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate timing that the hole fixed itself so quickly after he had dropped the poison Pharaoh, so he couldn't get more damage off of it.
Okay. Ooh, the anti-navi. But Soul still had the anti-navi, so it wasn't going to hit either of them anyway. And drop shower using that defensively. Nice. Okay, let's see. Ooh, the Element Man. Ooh, the miss.
He misses it. That would have been the game. Now Ubu
Still has a chance. Although the HP difference.
Look at Soul's hand. He has so many ways that he could kill him right now.
Yeah, I mean, he does have so many ways, but most of them are on one code. Yeah, so he decides to take the most chips he can. Ooh.
Oh no, does he have an invis?
The erase one, nice! So that's going to pierce.
Yeah, and that should also knock him out of the machine gun and keep Uvu and his anti-damage intact.
See if he has any follow-up. Grandman SP to the slash man. Okay, that's still fine for Uvu, although he's losing the anti-damage. So now one charge shot could be game for Soul, but the HP is getting very close. It is staging for a comeback. And another anti-damage. Ooh.
Oh no, he's locked in here now.
He doesn't have anything this game. Oh, that's really unfortunate. That was a very close game. Ooh, that was well played from Uvu. Almost got the comeback, but then just the charge shot, the Kraken panels, they really hurt Uvu without being and not being able to get in his area back. He was locked in at minus area for most of the game.
Yeah, and also only getting so little damage off of that poison pharaoh. If he had kept the pharaoh
Yeah,
up for just a little bit longer, that actually could have made the difference
yeah. I mean,
with
it
how
was
close it
just
ended
two
up being.
seconds extra because Pharaoh deals 1 damage per frame and 60 frames per second. So literally just 2 seconds extra for Pharaoh, and Uvu would have won that game. So it was very close. But well played, and yeah, as everyone is saying, Aquaman did win. So well played to the Spartan player. Okay. So going into the next match is going to be MegaMasterX versus JoeyKobalt. Okay, so we've seen both of these players play already today, and I think this will be an interesting match. So MegaMasterX has the advantage with his charge shot because of the area. If he can get in plus area, then Joey will have no way of getting back trading charge shots. But Joey does have a lot of fire chips. He has the Element Man for grass combos as well, and he could try to get in for the combos with the risky honey into counter hits and other things as well. So this will be a very interesting game.
Yeah, I do think that a ground man has an advantage here, but it could still definitely go both ways.
And I think MegaMasterX isn't using all of his navi slots to his advantage as well. So there's the navis and link, the navi chips and link navis are very good because of how much damage they do, and especially if you can get them on elemental advantage, which MegaMasterX does have the dive man and the white shots and bubble stars, so he has even the chip advantage in terms of typing. So this could be quite rough on Joey to try to get in that win, but we've seen Joey win very close games before, so
Yeah, you never underestimate the power of a Angie.
yeah, exactly. Alright, let's head right into the game. Okay, so it looks like they start with the volcano panels, but MegaMasterX has the ice seed, so he's immediately going to override that. Ooh, Joe does have the 2 area grabs, so now MegaMasterX is locked in area. He either takes the 40 from the lava panels or is forced to take in the charge shots.
Yeah, the crater panels are also definitely an advantage for the navis who have super armor, because if you get hit by that, it won't make you blink, but it will make you flinch without armor. So
yeah. Ooh, the invis again. So Joey's starting with a lot of defense. Oh yeah, so the air shoe is actually very good for Joey now.
and he gets
Yeah, he gets into
MegaMasterX
ice.
worked so hard to set up all that ice, and now it's just gone with one element, man.
Yeah, and this is actually the optimal area that Joey wants for the charge shot, because there is no way for MegaMasterX to try to move around it. Ooh, and the Heatman SP does land 2x damage. That's quite big. Into the Judgment.
Joey needs to stop. He is just bullying. Oh my god.
Ooh, and the Angie heat press. Although he doesn't take the charge shot damage, but he's still 1k HP ahead from MegaMasterX. This is very rough stuff from MegaMasterX. Okay, let's see what chip order he decides to go for. I guess one thing he could have tried to go, because Joey still has grass underneath him, try to go for tornado combos.
Yeah, exactly. That tornado will do the ×2 damage on grass panels, but with no boosts, it's only 320 damage, which is still a lot. But
okay, thankfully now. Ooh, nice! The counter hit with bees into the
oh,
fire
the
hit.
×2 fire hit.
Ooh, then finishing it with the charge shot. Nice. Okay, so the game's going very well in Joey's favor. So there's very good game one for Joey.
Yeah, I don't just think he's angry right now. I think he's furious.
Okay.
And the bees blocks the element trap.
Nice. The cube isn't really doing much to help MegaMasterX there, and he misses the charge shot. Ooh. Okay, he does have the flash one though, so he's probably going to try to combo that. Yeah, so he's going for the freeze with the white shot as well. Another air grab. Ooh, that was a bit too early from MegaMasterX, so both attacks are going to miss. Although now trading charge shots with Joey. Okay, starting with defensive turn. So MegaMasterX going for the turn where he can take more chips. Though he did get the knuckles roll for some recovery. I mean, the HP is still not too far between them.
Yeah, with that roll actually, that put MegaMasterX back ahead.
Now he has the ground man. Okay, let's see if that's going. If this breaks the area behind Joey, it doesn't. That could have been very big for MegaMasterX.
Ooh, but unfortunately he uses the wide shot while Joey was still blinking from the roll. Otherwise that would have been another 200 damage.
Yeah. And Joey haven't used his fire hit on the anti-damage. Ooh,
Oh,
the
but
full
it's
area.
a max area kernel force.
Nice. Although it won't be that much damage, it's still long paralysis for the whole turn and allows Joey to get in with another charge shot. Although that does flinch him. Nice.
Oh.
That was very close.
Yeah, that would have been a lot more hits if he'd managed to get that before Joey had stepped back.
But
That
now
probably would have been almost max hits, probably at least 6 or 7.
And now MegaMasterX still does have the broken panels around Joey, so he's locked in. So he can try to get in with his charge shot without worrying about Joey's charge shot on exchange as well. So it's still very good position for MegaMasterX. Oh yeah, he can also go for his support chip because Joey has no way of avoiding that. He can try to step around it.
Yeah, but without a white pill, it would only do like 1 or 2 hits.
Okay, let's see. Gets okay the anti-damage. Joey is still very bad position. Can't really do much. Just have him take the charge shot.
Yeah, this is so far a great response from MegaMasterX this round after what happened in the last round.
Summon Black missing from Joey. He's down to 50 HP, doesn't have much to do. Just one charge shot will be game. Ooh, nice. The heat press.
Yeah, I think that actually saved him.
Yeah. Joey using the heat press very well.
Oh, but the fan's gonna remove the bubble wrap, yeah.
That's game. That was unfortunate. But yeah, so Joey showing like how much of a defensive advantage being able to use heat presses is very good. Oh, nice!
Oh, wow! Oh! Ooh. Blocks the wide shot with the bees, gets a counter, and the ×2 fire burn.
That was a lot of damage in one turn. And then the other fire burn to lock MegaMaster in area and destroy his holy panel. And now
yeah,
this...
I think he...
Yeah?
I think after what happened in that last round, he's very angry now.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, the dive man though, that's going to hit with the freeze as well. And allows MegaMasterX to gain with the bubble.
Yeah, I actually do, I do like the dive mana asterisk for the freeze folder.
Ooh. The Hitman does connect. So that's 260 more damage. And the heat press also connects. He's Angie.
Yeah, those H code turns are pretty strong from Joey.
Ooh, flash bomb, so that's going to paste the embers and then damage.
He does get a fire hit 3 though. This is actually pretty close.
Yeah, although it's 300 damage, just one chip could make that difference very easily, so it's very close. He's mashing for the judge man. Ooh, power wrap.
No. Oh, that he did not want that. Immediately loses the bubble wrap and takes that.
Okay, that wasn't optimal positioning from the meteor knuckle, so only did 2 hits.
And it also,
Ooh, okay.
it also didn't break the panel in front of him, so.
Yeah, but now it worked actually better for MegaMasterX because it blocked the colonel force. Although
Well, he still takes 3.
yeah, he wasn't in a good position to avoid the colonel force. And now
He at least dodges. This is so close.
ooh, and yeah, so Joey gets hit by 1 extra hit from the drill arm there, because the one in the middle hits first.
And that roll's also gonna put Joey down to just like 100 HP left, and MegaMasterX back over. Oh,
Ooh,
manages to avoid it.
recovery is still big for MegaMasterX. Puts him higher HP, and he still has the 2 tornadoes. If he lands those, it could be game.
Oh,
Is that connecting? It does. Let's see the race map for the
That's
breaking.
it.
That's game. Nice. Alright, well
that
played.
was
That's very close.
very close match.
Nice. Well played to both sides. I mean, Joey doing very well there in a matchup that we thought that was pretty bad, but he still managed to get in the comeback and win.
Yeah, for sure. We saw some huge plays from both sides, especially the start of that third round with the counter hit blocking the wide shot with the
Yeah.
risky honey.
Yeah, so this is why bees can be very good, especially in link navis. Gives you the counter hit and it works very well on the ground man. Because other than even if you can't get the counter hit from the chart shot, it still brings out 3 beehives, which can be a lot of damage.
Yeah, and it's not as big now, but before Tomahawk,
Yeah.
nerfed, bees are one of the best ways to counter bees. It
Yeah.
counters itself.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. Okay, then going into the next match, it's going to be another spout mirror in Symes versus Uvu. So although this is spout mirror, it's evil spout vs Q spout, so they're not really the same.
Yeah, but didn't we already see one of the acute spouts beat the evil spout yesterday pretty badly?
Okay, so we'll see how this game goes. I mean, just quickly going through the folders, we see again the different choice with the gigas, with Symes going for the bass anomaly and Uvu for the meteor knuckles.
Yeah, I think the Knuckles is probably the better pick, especially with Spoutman, since he breaks the field so much. It can be kind of hard to use the base, but base in terms of the raw damage is pretty good. You can't really say no to a 640 damage. So.
And yeah, I think we've already talked quite a bit about both of these folders and seen them in action, so we can just head right into the match. Okay. So, this is an interesting field with the middle conveyor. So if you can't get in, if Uvu steps forward and you mash the area grab, then you should be able to get in the lock on Uvu and can get in with the Charcho actually. Because with that lock you can try to hit with the extra range from your Charcho so you don't break the panel. Okay, but looks like Uvu makes the correct step and not moving to the left straight away. So we're just waiting out Symes embers. Symes ends the turn with flash bomb. Although the white shot from Uvu does go out, but I'm not I think Symes still has enough time to step up to avoid that, so he's probably keeping his anti-damage. Yeah. And now guessing with the charge shot. Ooh,
Oh,
denies
knocks
that
one of the-
trip.
Oh, and that looks like that's his anti-navi. Either that or element. No, because if it was element trap, that would have set it off as well.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I can't use the tomahawk man SP there.
But knowing that you do freely take, ooh, and it looks like you're going for the double point. Is that going to connect? It does. Nice. That's game. That was a
Yeah, I
lot
think
of
that did
damage.
just enough to kill him too.
Oh wow. Okay. Ooh, nice. Avoiding the Aqua Dragon and hitting with his own. Okay, Sam's using the embers, and he does have the judgment. Although I'm not sure why he didn't use it straight away. He had the confirmed hit for 200 damage, but now he does drop in wind, so that does push Uvu into the ice panel. Ooh, and Sam's does have double point into Train Arrow. Let's see if he decides to go for that, because he can confirm it with the freeze and then Train Arrow. Yeah. Okay, so he decides to go for the area grabs. Let's see if that does connect. The freeze works. Double point. Ah, and the invis. Nice. Yes.
Yeah, that's the reason why usually go for it with the flash bomb.
Ooh, and then he got the freeze on you. Although you did mash fast enough to get out of turn.
Yeah, and it looks like I'm going for the greedy play here and trying to keep the boosted train arrow.
Yeah, I mean, that play looks like it's really hurting you, because now you can't even get into the area, as long as Uvu keeps trying to avoid it with his area.
Oh yeah, and it just messes. So it worked in the first round, but now in this round Uvu's already managed to avoid it, so...
Okay, but you still plus on area, so you can get in. Ooh, looks like you're taking the bus anomaly with the white fellow, which is interesting. Okay, the tank cannon.
Tank cannon right in the face.
Okay. And
oh, that
is that missing all of them? Ooh, that's very bad.
Well, at least I have to end a turn freeze here, but
yeah. Okay, you do gain charge shot while it's still frozen, but the area grabs is at minus. Okay, and the Spoutman does land, so that's 360 damage. So Ubu almost at double your HP, is doing much better than the last game. Guess it's really the trainer that makes a big difference.
And also missing the base.
Yeah, it would have been a lot closer. You'd have been ahead on HP if you didn't miss that.
Yeah, I think it's also the mental damage when you get hit right in the face by a tank cannon like that.
Yeah,
Like...
yeah. I mean, just seeing the tank cannon barrel just pointing straight at you, I can't imagine that being nice.
Yeah, point blank range. Oh.
Ooh, and the anti.
Oh yeah, this was really funny.
But now Ubu can step up to avoid that.
The max delayed anti-damage with the drip shower.
And the invis protecting you. Guess Ubu still had the blind, so he didn't really know where you were heading with your jump. Ooh, and now you're locked in an area, so that switched very quickly. Although you do have your TSP navis, and they can be enough damage to almost bring you back into the game. see Tomahawk does land, and that will also confirm the 2 hits for you from Tinguman SP. Yeah, keep mashing that. Okay, nice. So now you're ahead on HP. Ooh.
Yeah, but it's still very close. He gets it. I'm lucky I stepped off that ice
Yeah.
panel there, so I didn't get frozen.
If you were
We
frozen...
actually have the exact same HP.
Oh, nice. Ooh, you do land your charge shot. And now you do have the flash bombs as well. Okay, looks like it's deciding to go either defensive or offensive. I mean, if you use the 2 flash bombs, even if he steps under the first one, the second one is still confirmed to hit, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and if you step under it, you still take the 100 damage, so I would... Oh, he's got the grab banished, though.
Okay, oh wow, and forcing you to miss your flash bomb throw. So now Uvu's back ahead on HP, but the second one does land. Still have, ooh, just in range for the charge shot. And that was game.
Yeah, so that was a very close second round. I thought he had it.
Yeah, I mean, the game kept swinging between you two. You being ahead, then Uvu, then you again, then Uvu going back ahead until you finished it into the game.
Yeah, for sure. That was a very back and forth round where we were just I guess just slugging it out with all the ×2 aqua chips and stuff.
And getting in these extra hits with the charge shot definitely made big difference for both of you.
Yeah, but it looks like unfortunately evil triumphs over good this time.
All right. I mean, we'll see in. We still have, I think, one more match with Uvu, so we'll see if the Uvu trio and the drawing can still keep going. All right. So the next match is going to be Uvu versus Joey. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting one, because Uvu has the type advantage on Joey, and almost all of his chips also share that type advantage.
Yeah, those wide shots will be doing up to 400 damage versus Joey, and it goes down the whole field, so you can't really avoid it. So that right off the bat is gonna be very hard for him to deal with. One thing I do see though is he does have those risky honeys, and those would be able to block the wide shots. So we'll see if he can use the risky honeys to save himself.
Yeah, the risky honey could be very big, because I think it's not that difficult to get that against the charge shot from Uvu as well, because the startup is quite long. So if he's able to get in counter hits with that and then follow up with some of his combos, as we saw vs MegaMasterX, that could also be very big.
Yeah, the risky honeys are actually looking like a very clutch pick from Joey so far. So they've actually been putting in quite a bit of work from him. So we'll see if that will continue in this game.
All right, let's head right into it.
Because yeah, even without the ×2 tomahawk charge and boosts, it's still a good defensive chip.
1 second. Okay. So it looks like they're starting on the ice field, which is quite good for Uvu, but it doesn't have any of the aqua panels. Ooh, Joey does. Although he mashes in to get the Elements Man SP, but he misses the Alec with that for 2x damage.
Yeah, but setting up the grass could still be good for him because of all the fire he has, and just to get rid of all that ice. But I'm sure what he would have wanted is to get the ×2 hit with the Element Man SP, and then the grass with the Element Man Asterisk.
Yeah, that's a good point. Although if Uvu got hit by the Alec and then stepped back, then that will protect him from Joey's charge shot. So there was still counterplay for Uvu to go from there. But now Joey going for air grab exchange, and to... Okay, so Uvu now gets... Ooh, nice. Okay, so Uvu got to the position where almost back into area, but then the bees from Joey protected him from a charge shot and triggered Uvu's anti-damage, and then the fire burns were breaking the panels, and now Uvu's locked in. But the element
Yeah,
one
but
SP
now he
does
gets this.
land.
Yeah, that's 720 damage from that Spoutman SP.
Oh, nice! And in this position, Joey is still able to gain with his charge shot, which I didn't know about. I thought if the hull is in front of you, it stops the whole thing.
Well, it's only if it's directly in front, but since it was in the second column.
Okay.
Yeah, those fire burns actually from Joey are actually really nasty because of the cracks in this format. They just torch your area.
Okay, now Joey with the bubble wrap, so that denies. Okay, still had time. I was saying that I thought it denied the 2x charge from Ovo, but if you trigger it straight away, you still have time to get in the 400 damage wide shot. Or I think it's 300. Ooh, with that TFC with Judgment was really bad for Joey. Now they're almost back to equal HP.
Oh, I think Uvu, instead of using the Judgment, I think he could have got a free charge there, which is 200 damage.
Yeah, that would have been game for Uvu.
Yeah, but now Joey's going to be left with 36 HP. Can he pull off something here?
Ooh, now... Oh wow, getting in a lot of hits on Uvu, which made the HP much closer. If these bees hit, that would have been game for Joey. And now
I'm not sure if the bees would have done enough, but yeah, this is extremely... Oh, they both have anti-damage. I think Uvu just needs to match the...
Ah, nice. Okay, Uvu going for the confirmed anti-damage finish.
Oh wow, okay, this could be very bad for Joey. Oh no.
Yeah, so this starting field is very bad. He can't get in, +2 with area, and it's all on ice, so the damage is going to be very...
Man,
Ooh.
yeah.
Ouch.
Oh, that's already 1000 HP gone. That was brutal.
That freeze as well to allow Uvu to get in with the second wide shot.
Yeah, I think he didn't charge that one though. Otherwise
Okay.
it would have been even worse, but still, that's a lot of damage. And Uvu is still at almost full HP.
And now Uvu going for the drip shot, but Joe barely uses the anti-damage in time to avoid one of the hits. But now Uvu has the anti-element. Let's see if that triggers while Joe's invis. I think it did. Okay, yeah, so Joey didn't take in the 200 damage.
Well, these permaholes are at least good for Joey because he gets to use his he gets to use his summon blacks for free.
Okay, so Uvu still has a few options to go with. Goes with the wide shot. Ooh, but the Judgment I'm returning the area and dealing damage to plus area. Okay, see what Joey has to follow that up with. Nice. And the bees interrupting the charge. The fire hit interrupting the charge again. Ah, this freeze.
Oh, he gets
the freeze is really hurting Joey. Now Uvu has the opportunity to try to combo something into him. Although it doesn't look like it has anything to do with it. And there's TFC, Grandman SP, and that's game. Oh well, that was very quick game.
Yeah, this matchup is really hard for Heat, man. The first round, Joey almost pulled it off, but in the second round on that ice field, when Uvu had all those wide shots and ice dragons in his opening hand, that was just there was not a lot Joey could have done there.
Yeah. But it was still very well played from Joey, trying to get in out as much as advantage as he could, dealing a lot of damage as well. So
yeah,
well
especially in that first round, it was he almost pulled it off. So
yeah, well played from both sides. Okay, now heading into our last match of the stream, which is going to be Salad versus Versel. Okay, so this is going to be the second game we've seen Versel play. He already had very good performance in the first one. So this one's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and we also, I think, already saw Salad against Neryth Selectman earlier, which I believe Salad won that. So
yeah,
we'll see. Because yeah, since Slashman can just with his charge stop Electman from being able to use his charge, so it seems like a difficult matchup for Electman.
yeah. Although Versel's going more for the J code combos, so that could actually work out better for him versus Salad, because she wants to go in with the plus area, which will put her in the range of Destroy Pulse and Elect Pulse combos as well.
Yeah, and even his Elect Sword and K code.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so let's head right into the final match of the day.
Yeah, so we got the blow enemy in front, range 3. That's good to know.
Okay, in case you didn't know what Windrak does.
Well, that description is pretty bad, though.
Yeah, I mean, Windrak has a lot more going on for it to just blowing away the enemy.
Yeah, like blowing away their life aura or something.
And getting the interrupt with drag, which I don't think the game even explains drag at any point, so that's very interesting.
Oh wow, the ×2 center hit with just this one. 400 damage.
400 damage into the Judgman as well. But now...
Yeah, and against navis who don't have shoes, the cracked panels from just this one, especially against the Electman, are really nasty to deal with.
Yeah, and Solid still doesn't even have the confirmed area for the multi-hits, although with the panel grab she's probably going to be able to get that. Use panel grab, step forward, and then get in the hits. Ooh,
oh wow, the Destroy Pulse.
Now, Solid knows where Versel is because he aimed at Judgman, so she can be pretty sure that this is where Versel is, yeah. Ooh, into full cost as well, nice. Okay, so Solid's going to be forced to throw away the 2 panel grabs.
Yeah, but that was a very, I'm sorry for this, that was a very thunderous start for Versel.
Ooh, and really crushed Salad's hopes in victory as well. Okay, that was a bit early from Versel. If he used that slightly later, could have removed the... Ooh, but nice, getting in with the Erase Man SP anyway, to remove the anti-damage into Invis. Solid nub. Ooh, walking
steps
into
back into the charge, yeah.
And she has the custom HP bug as well, so she's really pressured to try to go in as fast as possible to minimize the damage loss.
Yeah, it's a pretty slow drain, but it will still add up if you take too long.
Okay, starting with the anti-sword. Ooh, the machine gun. And recovery as well. And we can't really see Versel's HP, but I do think he's very much ahead and doing very well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, wow, still at 1500.
Okay, and Solid doesn't really have any way of dealing a lot of damage. She doesn't even have any way of getting plus area, so she can't even get with the 3 hits. Although the Judgmans do allow 3 hits to connect if she's at point blank. Oh, nice. Tengu moving the life around, dealing a hit. Alexov missing. Okay, the first Judgment. So it should be able to get in a charge shot with that one. Nice.
The wind will push a Versel out.
Ooh, used the reflector. And Solid has the erasement, so she can just smash that to go through the reflector. Okay, so I think this is actually a good turn of events for Solid. So the reflector will be pierced by the erasement, and then the wind will push Versel into the range.
Oh, but erase.
That's shame. If Versel does get that to land, then that's going to be game. Otherwise, with the double point, Solid might be able to get a comeback. Let's see if Versel gets that. And
Oh,
yeah,
and he gets it.
that's game.
Yeah, because that double point base would have done enough.
Okay, so starting with the panel grabs again. Okay, so she's going with the Magnum to start with to lock in Versel for the Charger. Nice. And Sensor, okay.
That's just gonna get destroyed by the Slash Man, yeah.
Ooh, but the full cast now. Solid's deciding to keep her hand for the next turn. But Versel's able to look through again and take in more chips as well. Oh, nice. Gets the power, and now denies the panel grab as well. And he was still flashing, so that didn't even cost him the anti-damage. Ooh, the reflector as well, for stopping Solid from using a charger. So she's going again with the same hand. Ooh, just this one, getting the 100 damage. Judgment. At least this will fix some of the panels that Solid still has, so isn't too bad. Ooh, Angelic Pulse 1, nice.
Yeah,
Almost.
for sure. I'm changing those cracked panels back into grass panels is actually huge for Solid.
Versel almost avoiding the machine gun, but he does get clipped by one, which combos him into the other ones. Starting with the anti-damage.
I think these rocks on the field are actually also helping Versel a little bit because they can beat you just hide from the Slash Man charge behind them.
Ooh, that's good.
The Versel's now locked on.
Oh
this
wow! So this is the ideal positioning that Solid really wants. She can get in freely with a charge shot. With a 3-hit charge shot, Versel can dodge it, and he also, a lot of the attacks he does won't be able to connect because of the way navis can't hit from the back. So this is very good for Solid getting that area with the panel grabs. See how much damage she gets in.
Oh, and those panels are finally repaired. And now Versel gets the erasement EX. He lands it no problem. Oh, that's...
Ooh, that is extremely nice. Okay, let's see if Solid pushes the boulder in. She did, but that didn't hit. Ooh, and she has the Blast Man SP as well, so she wants that to get on grass for the 500 damage.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that with the way the pushing objects work, it is 200 damage, so you can even keep your life aura versus Windrak behind an object, because the pushing the object into you is strong enough to just break it anyways.
Okay, interesting. So Solid decides to go for the Erasement SP instead, probably to try to get in an extra hit with the charge shot as well, and the anti-damage.
Oh, and the Elexord gets interrupted by the kunais. That was unfortunate for Versel.
Yeah, that almost would have countered Solid as well. Okay. And looks like... Okay, so it's still not going for the Blast Man. I guess because now she can take in more chips. And the Judgment does pierce invis as well, so more versatile probably.
Yeah, I think Versel does still have his Recuv 300s in the J code, so he's not out of this yet by any means.
Yeah.
Oh, and he
Ooh.
gets oh.
But the anti-damage from Salad, nice. Starting with the anti-damage. And he had the plus 30 on that as well. Okay, Raceman does connect. And then...
Yeah, I'm not sure if Versel will be able to... Oh, what is... Judgment SP? Yeah, that's...
Oh, the anti-damage though. Okay, so Versel's still in it, although 2 charge shots from Salad will be game. That's the first one.
Is he gonna make it back to Cust? No, just barely in time.
Okay, it's 1-1.
And Salad already has all 3 panel grabs, so... Yeah, that Sensor 3 is, against Slashman isn't really doing anything. Slashman can just destroy it before it can, even, open its eye.
Okay. Judgment with the anti-damage. But that will break? Yes, that did break. Q. Salad saw the Justice one, so she... Ooh, although the...
Salad's still gonna get the panel grab. That was not a good Judgment DFC.
I mean, it did confirm the Justice one, but I don't think it was worth it for Versel. Raceman. Ooh, Raceman SP. So probably both are going to wait out for them to time him out, just to make sure they don't miss out on it. And now Salad was hoping to try to get in with the maximum hits with machine gun, but now it's going to be both of them mashing out from the paralysis, so she can't really do that. Ooh, she does match faster though, and gets in the maximum hits. Okay. Versel ending with the barrier, which saves him from one of the charge shots. Ooh, the reflector. Into
the destroy pulse was blocked by the life aura.
That's really unfortunate. But at least now if Salad moves back, then Versel's able to move more freely, so he doesn't take the 3 charge shot hits, just one of them from the normal area.
Oh, and now Versel is locked in, and that machine gun's also gonna...
Yeah, although... I mean, I think in that position it probably was better for Versel to go for the ice, just to get the freedom.
Salad couldn't mash it out in time.
Ooh, okay.
So that's big for Versel. We'll also get to keep his trap, and he's to Recuv 300s.
Nice. Now they both have an anti-damage up, although Salad's charge shot. Okay, trade anti-damage. Then machine gun hits. Ooh, missing the look pulse. That's rough. That would have paralyzed Salad for long enough that she would have to be forced to take Blast One into the next turn again if she wants to use that. Judgment. Salad's going to gain back that area as well, and piercing the short invis. The game is still very close. Versel's up on 200 HP, but he did use recovery 300, so...
Yeah, and those holes, oh, they just repaired now.
Ooh, the anti-navi. Ah, that's big for Salad as well. Because she's going with...
It's a rolling slash, sure.
And she has a lot of F-code chips that can combo into each other, so... Although it's interesting that she's starting with the machine gun instead of magnums. I think I would have started with the magnums to try to get in the full damage machine guns. Okay, that does hit. Oh, it doesn't cause flashing either. Interesting.
She might have used it with a white pill on it. I don't remember for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, but Uvu lands the base. Salad now only at a...
With the white pill. See? Oh, wow! Salad walks into the charger and that's game. Nice. It was looking very bad for Uvu there, but he managed to get in base and then finish the game with the charger.
Yeah, that was a huge play by Uvu at the end to close it out.
Okay, nice. It was very well played. It was a very close game from both sides.
And here we have some poor guy losing his dust cross and being counter hit by a machine gun. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah, and so sorry, Versel. As Salad mentioned in chat, we've been saying Uvu instead. Guess it was from the last game, and we're both tired. So sorry for that. But yeah, so that concludes the games for this stream and also the Need for Link. We had 4 weeks, which was quite long, and it was very fun seeing all the drawings and everything. And I do have few things to show up for ending the stream, so make sure you stick around. So I'm going to start just thanking in general, for the players that played in the cycle and for Symes for joining me on commentary. And
yeah, it was no problem. We got to see some great net battles today, so
okay, so I'm also going to play out the credits that Salad prepared, so sit and enjoy. Alright, thank you. So that was very well made video from Salad, which Salad worked very hard on both making this video and on all the previous cycles. So like huge shout outs to Salad. Without all the work she put in, none of this could have been happening. So like really Salad did all the hard work for all of this. And obviously thanks for everyone for joining. I really had a lot of fun playing through with everyone and joining the drawings. But we're still not done for this stream. We still have a few more things to say. So next we're going to have just going to let the video speak for itself. So
Hello Net Battlers, I come to you with news about BBN 3. The latest version of Balanced Battle Network 3 is being released for playtesting right now. You will find it available for download in the Announcements channel and the Legacy PvP channel of the N1 Grand Prix. In conjunction with this release, we will be running a competition of sorts, dedicated to BBN 3. But before we get into that, let's review what BBN 3 is. This is a patch for Battle Network 3, which aims to improve the PvP experience by making the gameplay smoother, more balanced, more interactive, and by introducing numerous quality of life improvements to the game. So, are you interested in playing? Without further ado, let's get into the event. Starting now and going until the end of Saturday, we will be running a playtesting competition. The goal of the competition is to play as many matches as possible and earn points by completing specific tasks. There is no bracket. Your win-loss ratio won't be counted. The only thing that matters is how many matches you can muster in a week. The quantity and variety of the matches you play will determine how well you fare. Here's the gist of how it works. When you play a match and submit your recording, you score a point. If you discover a bug while recording a match, you'll earn
Sorry for that, I'm not sure. Should it be buffering? 1 second while I try to figure this out. Yeah, it's intentional cliffhanger. Um, 1 second, sorry for that.
And submit your recording.
Okay. So I'm going to move that back a few seconds.
Here's the gist of how it works. When you play a match and submit your recording, you score a point. If you discover a bug while recording a match, you'll earn a huge point bonus. But you may be asking, sure, you may have a full setup guide for playing BBN3 online multiplayer available in the welcome channel of the N1 Grand Prix, but that doesn't change the fact that the emulator can be pretty tough to set up. What sort of incentive do I have to participate in this playtesting event? Well, I'm glad I asked, because of course, what's a competition without a prize? The first prize is a simple one, available to all who enter. The monument will speak your name. Those who playtest will be commemorated in the deepest corners of the Undernet. And the big prize, the crowning jewel of this event, is create your own Easter egg for BBN3. Choose a piece of flavor text or a decorative overworld element to replace with something of your own creation. It can be almost anything. The choice is yours. To get your creative juices flowing, here are some examples of what is possible. Replace one of the posters in the overworld. Have a fun conversation on the Battle BBS. Send Lan a mysterious email. Replace a small trinket in the overworld and change its flavor text. Grant sentience to a Mr. Prague. The choice is yours. Anything that could feasibly be done is available. Multiple competitors will win this prize, but there is another reward available only to our one and only champion. In addition to their choice of one unique Easter egg, they will also get to choose the EX code for the humor program, and they will get to submit their own joke for the humor dialogue. And their joke doesn't even have to be funny. I hope you're as excited as I am to see what comes of this, and I hope that you can make it to the first ever BBN3 Netplay event. All of the nitty-gritty details will be explained in the Discord. I hope to see you there. Thank you for listening.
Alright, thank you for the video, Mars. That was very fun watch. And I'm going to be looking forward to seeing how BBN3 turns out. I'm probably going to try to join in as well, so that will be interesting. So before we finish out, I'd like to give a shout out to Sigma and for the trailer that he made. You probably saw that at the start of today's or yesterday's stream, but it was a very good video and huge shout outs to him. So the Star Force community, I'm posting the invite link in chat now, so you can just click on that to join on the Discord, and you can use that to learn to connect with Wi-Fi and play with them. They have guides for setting up and 100% saves, and what really mind blows me is that you can play both on hardware and emulator, which I really have no idea how they managed to get that to work. And yeah, so there is also something big coming up soon on that Discord, so make sure to head on there and keep an eye out. And finally, for the next event that is going to be in the N1GP is the Density Monthly, which is on April the 18th. The format that won the poll on that is standard BN6, and the setup submission will open sometime today and will close on 11:59 PM EST on Thursday. So make sure to get in your submissions before then. And as the video that Salad made mentioned, Newman will resume on May the 4th, and more information will come out as we get there. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching for these past few weeks, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Have a good day. Goodbye.